So we're looking through my notes. We killed the Shambling Mound. We ran into Gaspide.
I think I see Valhalla.
Let's
This
see.
boozy coffee crisp hot chocolate is divine. We killed the Shambling Mound, killed the Alpha Grick. We came back, had a couple conversations, and now we're meeting with the elders, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we had a good conversation with Prescott and Sarah.
Oh yeah, no, there were a lot of pinning going on. I think he might have
Yeah.
been trying to violate him. I don't know.
For some reason, whenever Prescott does interrogations, it always turns into looks like he's trying to violate them.
Yes, probably has something to do with his cat familiar and the tentacles.
Rasharu is the one who wanted to build the tower to the surface.
Hmm.
Then we ran into Hebo, Hebapi. What? Hebapi. Something like that.
Hibapi.
Hebapi.
Shloobly doobly.
Hail Bop. Let's call him Hail Bop.
Hey, Bob.
Bop.
And then, of course, who could forget Lubabub?
The wet one.
You've had a very productive last couple of days in Neverlight Grove. So I believe we ended last session during the night. We had just finished a long rest after you guys accused Sereth of working with the demons.
He's a demon. Kill him.
You had killed the Shambling Mound down to the south. You had gone and slain the Grick Alpha to the north, and then come back to partially to rest and partially to meet the two sovereigns of this place.
Yes, because now we have permission to meet them. Right? We had to go complete those two tasks.
You really, Luvamub had asked for you to complete at least one of the two. You guys just decided to do both. Luvamub didn't seem to mind.
Hopefully this will... Jesus Christ, what the... That's a big fat cat.
What?
Sorry,
over this little big fat cat?
I just saw the picture in the Discord. Sorry, my son was really throwing a tantrum. Oh, God. I'm gonna get back in the zone here.
But I want it.
Why the fuck did I have kids? Jesus
Christ.
They were a side effect of better activities.
Yes, I know. This is true.
They're adorable. Sometimes.
Okay.
And for all the other times, there's MasterCard.
You have heard quite a bit of secondhand of the two sovereigns at this point. You've met a couple of Myconid that trust Sovereign Basidia more than
Is it just me, or is one of the characters giant on the map? Ashok is huge.
He's huge.
You're a big boy.
Also, every time
no,
you say
just a little.
Basidia, my brain wants to think Final Fantasy Dissidia, and like I just imagine a bunch of people flying around fighting each other.
Whee!
To be fair, that may not be that far from the truth coming up.
Okay.
Except I'm pretty sure one of them is in an angsty team with a giant sword.
We can fix that.
Well, I mean, you're here, so we can make do.
It was Sovereign Basidia is the one
Excuse me, I'm almost 30.
You're still
Exactly.
younger. You're still young. And
Almost.
as Christina was saying,
Sovereign Basidia seemed to be the one more trusted amongst the lower ranks. Sovereign Philo seems to be welcoming new ideas that seem a little bit weird.
And
Particular-
is he
particularly with all the demon activity going on.
the one embracing the idea of building a tower to the outside?
No, that's a different one.
That was a
That was another guy supporting that monarch.
Silo is the one that basically took some of the special ones, put off in the special area, cut off from everybody else.
that was Myconid leader Gaspide. Was the one that wanted to build the
Much better,
tower
better.
and couldn't provide a solid reason as to why beyond wouldn't it be wonderful.
In other words, the
So
mushroom was
I
smoking
should give
something.
him a swing of the axe on the way out. Just say,
No, it was more like the mushroom is smoking. He found the good spores.
What was the name of the one? Myconid leader, right?
Basidia is the one that seems more stable
Well-
than Silo.
It's we have Sovereign Basidia and Sovereign Philo, which is a PH.
Yeah, Philo.
Yeah, they can't have Sovereign lube them up because I mean, after the priest pandemic, it gets too messy.
People get the wrong ideas.
Also, Quinn, thank you for that chuckle.
Nothing like a good reference.
Nothing like a good kick in the ass. I mean, what?
uh-huh.
That's a fat cat.
So once we all take this rest,
We turn the murder hobos and we make mushroom pizza out of everything.
Oh God,
What?
were we murder hobos last week?
Yeah.
what is everybody's motivation right now? Because, you know, the majority of folks here either want to go home or want to get out of here.
Prescott wants to go home, but he wants to get as much knowledge as possible.
He
And
wants a fat dicking.
it's one thing to go from like Ravnica to the Forgotten Realms. Like, yeah, totally wildly different worlds. But then you go underground in Forgotten Realms, and it gets crazier.
The Underdark is a whole nother animal.
Right. Forgotten Realms is a step or two removed. The Underdark is about 10 removed.
I'd say Ashok has just been exploring, so he's no particular destination.
Okay.
I will
I know-
assume that Tungmill was just captured and therefore wants to go somewhere where he can actually get copious amounts of booze, considering his raging alcoholism.
I
Even
love
further-
I love how we have two games whose character's motivation is alcohol.
The only difference being you have an infinite jar of booze. If I had that, you'd never see it again.
I can make an infinite. I could make an infinite jar of booze.
He can.
Ooh,
Artificers.
you're my new best friend.
One of the options I can take here in another level or so is the alchemy jug.
So
Oops, I'm sorry. I made it mayonnaise, nay.
Tache is going to kind of go off by herself,
Oh my
and
goodness.
she is going to pray.
With
And
quotes.
she is going to first thank a Monitor. Or not a Monitor,
Minotaur?
sorry, Lythander.
Okay.
Oh,
Wrong-
we're
God,
getting
wrong
better
God,
now.
wrong God.
I was about to
No,
say,
wait, is it?
Prescott writes all this
Yeah.
down. She worships the wrong god. Da-da-da-da-da.
She goes off by herself,
Son
worships
of
the
a
god, he hears
Minotaur.
strange sounds.
She says Lathander out loud, but apparently a Minotaur who she really worships.
No, a Monitor is another god of light.
I'm on tour.
Okay, so if it's the Minotaur, which half? Upper half or bottom half?
Yes.
A Montor.
A mantor.
She's going to thank Lythander for the eclectic group of
That's one way to fucking put it.
the anti-heroes that he has given her to work with.
Will you stop licking my foot?
no.
Can't,
It's Hubble.
Sorry. It's a thing.
Oh my. I have to remember that.
She's going off by herself licking feet? What?
And so the group already devolves before the game entry.
And
Before
the
the
group-
session
I mean, are we
And the
starts.
group
surprised?
bonds as never before.
Oh my.
I have elephant feet. What does that do for you?
We
Wow.
can discuss.
Mind blown.
That's my fire you're not licking.
It's like, yes,
So
give me more.
she is
What the
going
fuck
to
is wrong with
ask
these people?
his direction in this area, and she is going to do what she feels that's right in her gut, and gonna trust that Lathander is leading her, because this is her mission. And I know you guys don't know this, but this is also part of penance for some shit that went down,
Oh, really?
and she feels like
She
this
was
is something she
unfaithful.
has to do.
She was unfaithful.
She was a coward.
Well,
But
step
we can't
one.
ask about that because we don't know.
Step one is making sure you're worshiping the right god. Step number 2 is don't suck.
Well, unless it's culture appropriate. And right now, I'm just slowly stroking pussy, and he likes it. Oh, he likes that. Oh, that face. That face.
All right, cut the mic. Cut the microphone.
He doesn't.
He's choking pussy and
no,
referring
no,
to it as a he.
Anyways.
Is it a
These
pie man
sovereigns
boy?
to determine
Your breath stinks, by the way.
what direction we need to go as far as who we trust.
Yeah, I
Simple,
need.
simple enough.
needs
Basically,
to
for at least-
decide. That she needs to decide what's the best thing. She needs to go meet these sovereigns, and she knows something's going on with the demon activity. This is obviously the whatever it is that has tainted the Underdark.
more than it usually is.
Something to do with this demonic activity. So she might be leaning toward questioning Sovereign Philo. So she would divulge that too. She's not trying to hide anything because she knows some of you are trying to get out. She doesn't want to force anyone, but she's letting you know that she is going to be exploring that. And she's going to tell you that even if that means she has to do it on her own, she will.
Well, Ashok would say to you, I'm just adventuring myself, so I'm heading nowhere in particular. I'd be happy to join you.
He's horny.
And not to mention, I mean, what better knowledge is there to gain other than with party members? So I'm not going anywhere.
Thor's pretty much of two minds. First of all, he wants to help Topsy and Turvy get to somewhere safe where they can, well, not be attacked. Basically, potentially be safe from others, and others be safe from them. And he wants to get home. He's got obligations. But the issue is right now with all the demon shit. It's like this could be a little bit delayed because getting more information for home. So,
Yeah, it's possible that whatever's going on here could make it so that you don't have a home to return to, or not the home that you remember.
the trading city of Mental Dareth. Which actually I don't think is if I remember correctly on the map, is not that far away. At least not from Brungenstone and Grackleskull. But regardless,
The Underdark is a mysterious place.
but to be fair, he generally keeps most of his
Seriously?
counsel to himself. I mean, he at the moment he basically trusts Tashay because she hasn't screwed him around a bit. Prescott is just too fucking weird right at the moment. Tungdale Ashok is in the middling category. As I said at the beginning, the thing about First Benevolent, they're very hard. It's very hard to trust. They see trust is worth more than gold, particularly in the Underdark.
Okay.
So are we like standing around talking, or are we like
Sorry.
sitting around a camp,
Sorry.
or like when
Sorry, we're
Tashay was telling us that? What were we doing? Just standing there?
I imagine that, we're just taking a rest and all kind of hanging out and
hanging
Figuring out
out.
what the hell we're doing.
because this is kind of a turning point. We reached the Neverlight Grove, which was the end of a 3-month long journey for her. And now it's like, okay, I'm here. Now what? And so this is what she feels like is the right thing, but she sees everyone here as part of part of, part of her mission, but she doesn't want to assume that on anyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everyone,
but
people who are willing to go with her that's great.
butt buddies.
So I'd say as we're sitting around, as like kicking at the fire, I'm actually searching for a wizard that in my isolation I had some visions that he wants to ascend to the status of a lich, and I just feel it's my mission to find where this person is. I don't know where it comes from, but so
Barf. Excuse me.
like I said, I'm not going in any particular direction, but just looking for more
Just looking for
evidence that this
random
person
lich.
exists.
Greetings, are you a lich? No? Okay.
That is definitely noble, and I would be willing to help you on that mission as well.
Well, I meditate to find more information, but it's been frustrating that I can't figure out who it is and where this person may be. But maybe you can give guidance in meditation as well. But
Would a lich be considered a corpse? I have a spell called Find Corpse.
well, this
In
wizard,
Everlight Glow, that may be difficult
enough.
because mushrooms grow from dead stuff.
Nice.
he's not a lich, or it's not
He
a lich.
aspires.
Yeah.
Right. That's at least what my most recent meditations have. So I left the Shadowfell and have just been exploring ever since.
Wouldn't happen to be the real Jim Dark Magic, would it?
So this is going to really register to Tashay. You're really kind of on a very similar quest then, because you're getting this information from a divine sort of outside source, just like her.
I don't know if I'd call it divine, but
But
Spiritual.
hey.
I've been isolated for quite some time.
Outside source.
but I don't think you would be interested in my deity.
Well, I'm interested in cutting through darkness. But not all things that are dark are necessarily evil. So she's referring to Shadowfell. Because things like, you know, Shadowfell, there's balance in that.
There is.
Yeah, see, Lathander is unlike Amontor, um, is a god of kind of like the cycle of life. It's
Cool,
it's
I'm
light,
attacked.
it's joy, and all that kind of thing. So, but unlike Amontor, it's like, shine light, crush the darkness. This is a little different. This thing that she's searching for, this mission is about this thing that's threatening that balance.
And I look at you. Have you ever heard of Sahani Moonbow?
No, I have not.
That is my deity.
As freaking Tongdil what the hell speaks up there. This here mug is my deity, and it is not filled. I must deal with that. Perhaps some mild sarcasm in that.
I'd search around for one and ask if you may I partake in some of that.
There's not much left. Go away.
AE, I'm not willing to share. Get the fuck off.
Well, I basically keep a source of yeast hidden away in my beard for impromptu brewing of anything I can get my hands on. Last I heard, I was brewing some mushrooms or whatever into some kind of makeshift booze. Don't know where I'm
Not-
at with that, but
Not
I
the
know I was trying-
not the last I tried to do. The last I heard is I was doing.
It's been a while since we did that.
Yeah, I posted a picture of Tungdil trying to be suave with a glass of wine.
Yes, accurate.
Also, for those who are familiar with MMOs, the next picture.
Good old wild crack.
Yeah, but do you recognize the game that's actually from the screenshot's actually from?
I only glanced at it.
It's Final Fantasy.
I only played that a little bit. It wasn't bad, but eh.
And for Christina.
I mean, I did like your shaved thing, but then again, that was for NSFW.
So there was
Yes.
a question of what everybody
Insanity.
wants. You guys would know that Eldith intends
I
to
want the whole world.
basically
Something. Wants a golden statue of herself.
Eldith wants to kind of stay with the group and help everybody basically survive. Her intention, once reaching the surface, is to I've had to cut off for a second.
Hashtag from Brad.
I know she was talking.
That's why I've been
to
muting myself a lot as well.
she intends to head to Gauntlgrym
Yes.
in order to.
And I'll be joining ye.
Uh,
I hear they have a shield of infinite booze. I'm
currently,
interested.
she just wants to go home, and home is Gauntlgrym.
Interesting.
But considering you guys also did find out that there's at least one demon loose in the Underdark, she wants to warn the dwarves of Gauntlgrim and see if possibly there could be like a party of the surface coming down to investigate further.
Would I know where that is? Where she's trying to go to?
I'd say considering make a history check.
Mm.
It's out of the Underdark.
It's definitely on the surface.
How is Sareth doing? Which Tache is very suspicious of him, but trying to remember exactly why. What was it? Something he
Probably
said, wasn't
He
it?
the discussion
worshipped.
we had last time.
Why am I suspicious of you?
He has a apparent contract with a demon that he doesn't know about, which we suspect is linked to the Neverlight Grove here, which we might be meeting momentarily.
I mean, you
Possibly. Who
have
knows?
seen him
Hmm.
brandish weapons out of the air.
We already know he's a warlock, but now we know that he has a
Okay.
contract with some mysterious demon that we know nothing about, potentially, that may or may not be linked to the grove.
Yeah,
And
is that
he
somebody
doesn't
we
know
want
who
to
it
keep
is?
traveling with?
Well, he's going to be staying here probably one way or the other, so.
Sareth did not speak of who he made a deal with. It's unclear whether he knows or not.
That's the main thing was he was claiming he didn't know, and we didn't get any rolls that said otherwise. So
I'd look at Fargus. Fargus, what are you
just that we shouldn't
desiring?
trust necessarily.
I think Fargus still wants to go find the treasure.
Yes, he really wants to go find this temple that has some treasure. Apparently,
Mhm.
Really,
He has
really wants
been
to.
slightly knocked off course by your group, but that is his main drive, is still to go to the Lost Tomb.
I can't remember. Did we check and see if he was under a spell or something?
he's definitely being influenced.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Yep.
There was nothing magical
finger-
that you could sense.
Yeah, there was a finger up his ass.
Oh. You really shouldn't do that. You'll go blind.
That's a long finger.
Tache is an older, is an elderly person, so she'd be like, "No, let's stop that. That's you'll go blind."
Don't do that.
Don't worry, I have restoration.
Speaking of which, how are the many munchkins?
Topsy and turvy.
Now that we're halfway through the season. Is it halfway? No, we're not halfway through the
Oh
schools.
no, not even close, probably.
Where are we? I don't know. Yeah,
Only person who knows will be Christina, and she's not telling.
not that season.
Well, Tache, it sounds like we're all with you.
Then
At
I have
my
an
axe.
idea. We go, we meet with the sovereigns, and we discuss with them things that are going on here. And she'll turn and look at Fargus. She'll say, "I have a feeling that it's possible that this tomb may hold something that we need."
So we might be going there next.
Yes,
But
if
first,
that's
the
where our travels
sovereigns.
take
Because
us.
he's like, it took you long enough.
Don't tell that to the insane person.
Huh?
Says Prescott.
What is Sareth doing as we're sitting here talking? Is he like staying away from us?
He's like going,
Yep,
am
away
I,
from
am, I, am
Prescott.
I aroused or scared of Prescott? I'm aroused.
All right. Well, after our rest, I'm ready to go if you guys are.
I am.
I'm ready for some Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, don't. Please. No. No.
So who here is
no.
heard of it?
No.
Never heard of it.
Oh,
It's,
really?
Alright.
It's stupid.
So Tache's gonna get up and start telling people to clean up their shit. Like, pick it up. Don't leave your trash laying around.
You use the appropriate priviews in the corner, like the mushroom people want you to. Oh my god, what are they doing now?
It reminds me of what I do in my classroom when we're all lining up to go outside. I just stand there by the door until they all get themselves together. Like I'm waiting for this one to get their coat. This one's picking up some trash off the floor.
This
Just
one's
like
having-
5
This one,
minutes
this
of
one,
just
this, this,
chaos.
this one has their finger up to the fourth knuckle in their nose. Wait,
Usually
fourth
there's
knuckle?
someone doing that.
They are that young.
It's the Cthulhu child.
As long as the headstone doesn't start spinning, you're fine.
Okay, let's go. Let's go meet these sovereign assholes.
We're off to see the sovereign.
The
The
wonderful sovereign
wonderful
of fuck.
assholes they are.
As we start skipping towards the frickin' guy.
La,
That's
la, 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 la.
I've adopted a new saying. We say
Fuck
it,
off.
so we do it.
Wow, the silence was deafening at that point.
That's because we're wait. Now I'm waiting for Christina. It's her turn now.
Trying to cover the.
To be fair, she's right.
We say it, so we do it.
I said I was waiting for Christina too. Rustin was right. We're just waiting.
You gotta give her a minute, man.
Shush.
No, I know.
He was,
Keep stroking.
I
damn it.
wasn't saying anything. I was just answering him.
she was giving me some lore. Lore.
Lure.
Dwarven lore.
Dwarven
Uh,
beer lore.
When
Stay
you
away from my
guys
beer.
when you guys wake up, Grove leader Lubumub leads you towards kind of above where that big mushroom is on the map. I don't know if you guys still have this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yes.
Oh, where
gonna
your green circle
say-
has moved to.
I'm gonna say my bottles of dwarven booze or drow booze are probably drained by this point, so I'll just
Oh, long
swap them to
drain.
bottles. Just bottle essentially. So I'll drop the weight by like half.
Surprised you actually.
Empty
I'm surprised you
bottles.
still have any after the first week.
Yes. You know, they should have been long drains. That's why I'm removing it.
Beyond the mud and mushrooms that spread across the cavern, a large clear pool sits in the midst of the fungal grove. A central mound seems to be the only dry spot in sight, though a small cliff rises above the cavern floor far across the clearing, with giant mushrooms visible in the distance. Bioluminescent fungi trace strange constellations along the cavern's ceiling and walls, showing the darkness of the ravine and a mist-shrouded smaller cavern beyond.
I wonder what's in that cavern over there.
Horsecock.
Pretty
Is
sure they don't have those
Lubumub
down here.
leading us to the sovereigns?
Yes.
All right, we just follow along.
Now I have to find that. Now I have to find that song. God damn it.
Time flies when you're having rum.
Is that where we're headed?
No. Just
No
to
cock
where
like horsecock.
the circle is.
Yep,
What
yep.
is this big old thing?
You actually can't see it from where you're at.
Oh, sorry.
There's a tall cliff dividing where you guys are at and that. And anytime you've gone higher, you've been out of sight range.
Is that where the
Um,
cliff is? I'm just trying to get my my bearings straight. Oh, I see. The cliff is here.
Yeah, cliff is kind of on both sides of that gap.
Kind of
I-
where that line is that I drew. It's kind of
Sorry, is there a line? I don't see a line.
It was
yeah.
there.
It takes a moment.
Ah, gotcha.
The in-map drawing isn't always the best.
Scribbles.
Ah, got it.
There's kind of a cliff there with a fence surrounding it.
Okay. Well then, we're just gonna keep following Lubamub.
Skipping along.
La 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 la.
Exactly.
As my students say, can I be the line leader? Can I be the caboose?
Well, we know who the tops and bottom are in that group.
We do.
I want to be up front. I want to be up front.
I'll be up back.
Did you just
would
I'll
allude to
ask
which
her-
children are going to be grow up to be tops and bottoms?
I'm gonna ask
I mean,
Lubamub if there's any like protocol
Technically.
that we need to follow, or I'm assuming we're still spored. So I can talk to him.
Oh, we're gonna be spored a lot more. We're gonna be so covered in spores, it's gonna be dripping everywhere.
Tongue to the Lord Spoys.
Lubamub would say there's
Unless
no
given
real
no choice.
there's no real sort of manners or anything for us. There's no protocol. You've already proven yourselves not a danger to us with what you have done for the colony.
Very well then. I look forward to it.
Murder, hobo, murder, hobo, murder, hobo.
Do, 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 do.
And
Funny thing is, you go ahead.
as you guys grow closer to this giant mound, you would see 3 other adults like Lubamub, and you'd see about 10. They look like the familiar Zerkwood trees or mushrooms that you've seen down here, but they're moving. They're just kind of.
Here we go. Found it.
It seems like they might be standing guard or something of the like. You also see 2 much taller myconids.
Size matters.
Yes, it does.
Oh, cool.
There you go. We're
Hey,
set.
hey, we've got one with an epic hat so far, so.
Yes, that hat is epic. He
And
is.
these ones
That's
are a lot more colorful.
that's gotta be the winner.
We now have a theme song.
The sovereigns aren't myconids, are they?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
All myconids.
Oh.
Everyone is
It's
a
just some are-
myconid
just some-
here.
It's just some are larger than others, and size matters.
Sorry about that. Okay.
So this is kind of what both Basidia and Philo look like.
Evil! Evil!
Whereas the
Basidia.
adults look more like that.
Still loading.
Enough.
Please wait.
Enough. All I've got is a blank screen for that.
Sometimes images take a moment to actually load.
I love that. Glory, glory, murder hobos. great.
well,
Yeah,
it could
no,
be worse.
I'm stealing that. That's good shit.
We could still be doing the goblin in the corn blob butthole.
Goblin on the cob.
And with Lubamub's direction, you guys basically come straight up into the midst of this. The Zerkwood things stay around the outside of this mound, just kind of watching. Every so often they shift a little bit, and that's about it.
Are the two sovereigns in the same location?
Both sovereigns are on this mound.
Let's talk. Don't
Cannot-
shoot him first.
Yeah, can I roll a history check? Because I thought I remember there was some kind of, I don't want to call it a protocol, but something before about, I can't remember. It was something having to do with the spores.
Yeah, for some
Or
reason.
maybe-
Sorry.
Yeah,
They
I'm not getting
used
that picture either.
They used to communicate with each other, often via the spores, but the possibly evil one was outlawing it.
It's
Or
their
something like
idea of melding is what happens when everyone gets spored.
Together.
And Basidia is a big, firm believer that it's something that everyone should do in the colony regularly to help make sure everyone's still on the same page and everyone's still working towards the same goals. Sovereign Philo is the one that separated everyone into separate, like their circle melds with themselves and nobody else.
This is how we get tower builders.
So they walk up to the mound. So is Lubamub going to do anything else, or is it now up to us?
Penis.
So far, you guys have just arrived. Nothing
I
else has
say we-
happened yet.
So I'm just saying, are we waiting for them? I mean, Lubamub has brought us here, and now it's up to us, right? Because
No,
there's
we're just
something
having a
that Tashay
staring
wants to do.
contest.
Yeah, let's just walk up to him. I'll raise my
Before
hand.
before you do that, Tashay will say, "Hold on a second," and she's gonna look to Jesus Christ, what's your name, Brad?
I thought you really
Prescott.
gotta
Press.
I'm
really-
sorry.
you really got to get
It's
your
at the-
god
it's
name
at-
down right. This is
it's
the
at the-
third
it's-
different name.
It's at the top of the party window thing.
I know, but I got such a small screen. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're my friend in this. I apologize.
So can you pick a god to worship? Just one of them, please. Like
Tashay is going to ask you to get a stool
Jiggy
to
with it.
spore us. And she's going to turn around and cross her arms and stare directly at Philo. And she's going to tell to Prescott, have stool spore us.
yes, ma'am.
You would already be spored by Lubamub at some
And-
point this morning.
Okay, so we're all good.
Apparently.
All right. Well, in that case,
You
I say
guys-
we just go up.
Myconids are weird.
So are we.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was operating on the impression that Philo was prohibiting communication.
He wasn't prohibiting communication so much as he was trying to separate everyone out into different groups.
And also, if there's something that you want to say without them hearing, you can exclude them from. You can just think thoughts to specific people.
To the best of my understanding of the way that these work is that you can You have the ability to speak telepathically to each other and to anyone else spored by the same myconid. So at the moment, you can still separate your thoughts from Lubamub and just speak within your group, but you can't necessarily connect with the sovereigns yet.
Oh. Okay.
Because the sovereigns weren't present in that sporing.
So Tushay will ask Lubamum if he intends to make things available so that we may speak with the sovereigns.
Unless they can speak as is.
I'm going to assume that this would happen on the way rather than you guys just stop at the bottom and suddenly everybody's just staring at you.
That'd be normal, though.
I'm not sure. She's pretty out of her element. She doesn't know what the hell's going on as far as culture here.
And Lubamub would say that it has been customary for these sovereigns to meld with those who come to seeking them out.
And how are these sovereigns viewed by the masses? Are they revered? Are they worshipped? Are they just like respected as wise?
They are respected as the wisest amongst us. They are our leaders because they understand the needs of the many better than we do.
And yet they are now of effectively two minds, which doesn't help matters.
There was a time that we all lived in peace, and now Sovereign Philo wants change.
Why?
But you don't seem to think that change is peaceful from what you
It is
just said.
weird and strange. We don't know the long-term effects yet. Sovereign Philo wishes to break the connections between our circles.
He
How
hasn't
long?
been doing this violently, has he?
Good
We
question.
have not been violent.
You have not been violent. Meaning others have.
Do you feel like you're treated poorly now compared to?
Hang on a moment. I need to change my headphones battery. I'll be right back.
Well, Taché is thinking of just approaching them and saying, and basically exclaiming the truth of her mission, and that perhaps part of the reason for whatever is wrong down here might have something to do with the fact that they are no longer of one mind, and see how they react to it.
I mean,
if you've said anything in the last couple of seconds, I haven't heard it. My headphones were beeping at me, saying, replace me, replace me.
Nope. We're just talking with the group as far as how we're going to approach the sovereign. I'm open to ideas.
I mean,
we can murder hobo them.
I have the song loaded.
That might be kind of fun.
I think we should
Well-
go up and introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
See what they say.
Yes, pretty much.
And then murder.
Well, it's like, why are you dividing them? What's the reason for that?
I don't want to be too aggressive in how we approach with our.
And
Opening
then once we
conversation.
learn that, she's probably gonna she thing it, whatever you want to call it, is gonna probably sprout demon horns, then we go murder hobos.
And
Should we let
Yeah.
them know that there's a demon loose?
Oh, more than
Press-
one demon? There's multiple demons.
Did you
There
say
are
that out
many
loud?
demons. You are only being mindfucked by one of them.
Did you
Please
say that
ignore
in
what he has
character?
to say.
No, I would say it. Well, we could do. Yeah, I could say it in character. Should we let them know what's happening, like what happened in the city?
I would suspect maybe Sovereign Philo might already know.
We will find out, won't we?
Yep.
But I think we should be careful in saying anything accusatory, like until we hear them speak first.
That's the plan.
Tashay, part of Tashay's she does tend to be a little blunt. Part of her hermit background.
Got it. Quentin talks.
Prescott is gonna ready though.
Let's leave this one to ask Ashok then.
Is going
Yes,
to
Prescott
ready.
shuts up.
Woof.
Well, should I go up there?
Yes, I'll walk with you.
Okay.
I will maintain me axe and continue drinking booze.
So as we walk towards them, I say to you, sometimes I'm not the most adept at cultural things, so bluntness is a fault of mine as well. I think given the fact that Philo is bringing this group
Change.
in a different direction, maybe we should be careful with him. I'll be curious to see if he's trusting
Agreed.
us.
I shall attempt to mind my tongue.
He's Philo. He just wants to spread pastry to the
Well,
north.
which is a lot better than tongue in your mind. That's more of an illithid thing.
I smile at you and I say, well, don't hold anything back. And I would assume by now we're there. And I'd raise my hand
How?
in a wave.
So it's just the two of you approaching?
I believe so.
Yep.
No player characters, no NPCs.
Correct.
Okay.
Why do I get the sense we just walked into it?
Oh, we
I-
done fucked up.
I gotta make sure I know which NPCs are involved, because
Well, unless someone actually came with us, you didn't actually say that anyone came with us.
the whole group is together.
Oh, okay, well in that case,
Yeah.
we'll go there.
All of your NPCs are with you. It's just knowing who's approaching right now and who's not is
So I'm
important.
just imagining us all being in the same area, in the same room, but it's Ashok and Tashay that are walking up, like to be the mouthpiece for the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
We're fucked.
How far away are the rest of everyone?
Good
50
question.
feet, maybe? Really?
Probably not too far away.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm thinking.
it's not like okay, we're sitting at one end of the cathedral. You're like, okay, you have to go all the way to the other end and talk to them. We'll stay back here out of fireball range. No, we're not going to be that far away from them, so probably maybe 10, 15, 20 feet tops, if that much.
Yeah, I mean enough that Tashay could turn around and just say,
Not smack
"Hey,
someone with
could
a tail.
if motioned for someone to come up." Dragonborns don't have tails.
I know. That's not a tail.
I don't think they have those either.
No, but basically it's along lines of, okay, it's just obvious of this particular pair has stepped forward kind of thing.
It's kind of important because as um,
So I'd
Ashok
say
and
maybe
Touche step forward.
I'd say maybe 10 feet. I'd say maybe 10 feet then. Maybe 10 feet. Does that sound about right? Overall?
I think more like 20. You know, they're still close by, but like
All
we're
right.
noticeably ahead.
The biggest reason that I asked is because as you two step forward and you get close enough, probably within about 5 feet, Sovereign Philo actually steps just like maybe 2 steps forward, kind of swaying a little bit, and it lets out a huge cloud of spores. From the sovereigns, it's actually 30-foot radius.
Okay, that'll be just about everybody.
Except Tungdal. He's hiding in the back. I am guarding the rear.
I
That's
mean,
Aaron's rhythm.
unless everyone was in a straight line backwards, you're within that 30-foot radius.
F. I've been violated.
Well, I'll show you violations.
I say to Touche, here we go.
Indeed.
And Philo seems excited that you have brought Stool home.
Uh-oh.
And it says, "You are safe, friendly softers. You arrive at a wondrous time, for Neverlight Grove is on the verge of something great, something marvelous. Celebrate, as the day of joy is nigh."
Okay.
Someone's been sniffing the wacky spores.
Did you just call us softers?
Yes.
I'd ask,
we're not-
what is this day of joy?
He kind of dances around the idea of explaining what the Day of Joy is. He doesn't really acknowledge that you asked what it is, but he does say that you should please avoid the Eastern Plateau, and he kind of points one of his mushroomy arms towards the cliff behind you.
Let's be fair. That's pretty much a beacon to PCs going, you go here now.
Yep, that's our next location.
And he says that the Circle of Masters is preparing a wondrous and glorious surprise in the Garden of Welcome.
Oh god.
I look at Touche and I'm like,
and it says tomorrow you could go look if you'd like. I'll take you there.
Prescott has been writing notes and is right behind Touche, and then just says, "No, Ashok asked you a question."
Yeah,
Could
he
be.
goes,
Well,
clack. And I as
Tell us
well.
more. We're intrigued.
Oh, I'm certain the Great Cedar beyond the grove could answer any questions of yours.
No,
Great
he
who?
asked you the question.
The Great Theater?
Cedar. I think like cedar tree.
Or cedar as in spores all over us and we grow more mushrooms for them.
I would very much like to talk to the Great Cedar.
Uh-oh.
I'm certain she'd love to meet you all.
And who was this?
Oh, sorry. I was just clicking I was moving my page over and I clicked that.
Roll initiative.
No. Okay.
No, that's a Prescott
so-
thing.
Oh, I
Can I?
could never describe her. You have to meet her.
All right, so where are we not supposed to go?
I was gonna ask that too.
The Garden of Welcome is still being readied. I ask that you
And-
avoid the east until it's ready.
All right,
if I-
later. And Prescott starts walking east.
As he walks by me, I grab his shoulder.
Yeah, Touche just smiles and grabs him like.
Not yet.
Not good.
What-
Not well, they're
you
actually
grab him
not-
and you realize that Prescott has had Eldritch Blast ready the whole time too.
Nice. So, is the Great Cedar in the Garden of Welcome? Is that where you'll be taking us tomorrow?
The Great Cedar lies beyond the Garden of Welcome. I'm certain she would love to meet you. Just
It's a giant
I'm-
shroom.
we just need a day to finish preparing.
I see.
Oh. To get
Thank
to
you
the
for
Great
being-
Cedar, we have to go through the garden, right?
Yes.
Well, then why don't we go right now?
We want to say hi.
Barf. Excuse me.
Something doesn't sit right with me. Would I?
Yeah, could I roll a perception
Would that be insight?
or insight? Yeah, whatever.
Time for some inside.
You notice that Prescott continues trying to go east. Yes, go ahead and roll insight.
Wow.
Yeah, never mind. Well, as shocked didn't do too bad.
I tried.
Lack of booze.
Yep, need more booze. I only got one more water skin left. I may
Huh.
turn into a mad dwarf soon.
Tongue Dilly, you're a little bit irritated between the lack of booze and the fact that you got spored as well.
Again.
Prescott, you're very distracted trying to go east. Somehow straight up a cliff.
Oh yeah, I should probably look at the map, huh? Where are we standing?
In the green
Over
circle.
here.
Well within sight of the giant cliff with a fence at the top of it.
Tasha is going to reach inside of her pouch and pull out a coin.
My.
Tashay, Thulwar, and Ashok, you would all recognize that the other Sovereign Basidia, has not said anything during this, but looks very uncomfortable with the behavior of Philo.
I immediately turn to Basidia and say, "Are you looking forward to this day of joy?"
What the fuck?
I threw a coin at your head. Get your ass back here, dick.
Toss a coin to your Witcher?
No,
Toss a coin to your child.
I have not watched that yet. Don't know if I
I've
will.
watched it so many
I finished the
times.
series today. Yeah, I asked
Going
Basidia.
to Witcher.
Basidia
Nobody pays.
seems a little bit uncomfortable, but doesn't say anything against Sovereign Philo. They do volunteer to show you around. Your entire group. Since
Thulwar
obviously
would actually accept that offer. Likely
You know what?
because if it's Basidia showing around, Philo's not with us.
No, both of them. That's why we should be like, oh, File. You know what? You got preparations to do for your celebration of whatever. Basidia can just take us.
Prescott
You're very busy.
Prescott specifically asks Just Stool if he likes the new way things are being run and done around here.
Fool is a child
And-
that has no opinion one way or the
Stool has grown up considerably in the past 3 months.
other. Has he?
Stool would say
Do you have
that
little stubby legs now?
it's confused by the changes and it doesn't know what to think, but it can tell, just as everyone can, that the harmony that once existed is broken.
It's not a good thing.
Who do you think is doing the breaking of the harmony?
I mean, we kind of know.
That's not what I asked.
Stool has no clue.
I'm curious as to does it seem with my insight check, it wasn't all that high, but I'd like to kind of see if I can. Is Basidia feeling a little bullied by Philo? You know, because Philo's getting up, he took initiative right away, start talking. I don't think Basidia is liking this event, this date of joy.
Mm-hmm.
It with your insight check, it's not very easy to tell exactly what's going on, but at the same time, Basidia doesn't want to openly go against such a strong opinion.
Prescott looks right up at Basidia though, and looks and does the same communication with just him. If you hate this so much, why don't you do something about it?
Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't say that. I don't think it's obvious. I think if you said that, it'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
No, with the mind meld you can communicate directly with just one being.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm asking him privately.
Basidia doesn't give a straight answer. It would say basically there are too many ears here.
Literally, they're right there.
So we can like just talk to one person. I just want to clarify that, right?
Yes, but it's not something that's necessarily easy. And as with anything, there's always the possibility of being overheard, especially if you're not careful enough.
But specifically, Prescott had that knowledge with Stool and has been exposed long enough that this is something that a couple sessions ago we figured out Prescott could do.
Yep, mushrooms in the brain.
I'd try to
Close to each other.
control this so that the party hears it and Basidia only, not Philo. And I ask, what would happen if I went up on that cliff right?
What would happen if I just shot him with my Eldritch Blast?
We would have lots of angry mushrooms, and we had to we'd not have a good time here.
I don't agree.
Does anyone have the message cantrip?
No.
I have an axe.
Nice.
So out of character.
That's a different kind of message.
Out of character.
Actually,
I have Blessing of the Raven Queen, and I could teleport right up instantly right up to that cliff, beyond the cliff.
Good, you'll be the one sending down a rope for us.
There's a path to get up right south.
I can make a stone that has a recorded message.
Throw it at his head and see if he gets the message. Thank you, Silver.
Considering that he communicates via spores, and something tells me that message would be more verbal. Although who knows? I mean, it could be.
I think they might be able to
could be
hear
optional.
us. No one ever said that they're deaf.
Prescott pulls over Ashok and whispers, "Okay, you teleport up there. I'm gonna give little buddy to Shay. I'm gonna go south and I'm gonna run up."
We have till tomorrow.
And I whisper, I can get to the cliff, but I think it's too far for me to get up on.
Are
with
the
teleport.
sovereigns just watching us whisper to each other?
All right, everyone, huddle.
Philo doesn't seem to care.
He is too busy in the mushroom spore-induced party dreams
That or
of
we,
welcoming.
and I'm still whispering to Ashok, or we get them to show us around, and I'll pull Basidia aside and talk to them.
I like that because I want to get them separated.
You got to keep it separated.
I want to
Well-
get Philo separated and kill him.
Okay, so Tachay's gonna take a little chance because this is the whole reason why we came to them, and she's gonna tell them about that she has that this day of joy might be overshadowed by darkness, as she feels that she has been led here by her god about some darkness that is overcoming the Underdark, and that she has encountered demonic activity down here that is not normal at all, and that could threaten everyone.
And I snap to you. I just say, I suspect this day of joy is exactly that dark you're talking about.
And don't ask her which god told her. She doesn't know.
She's gonna elbow you. Gentlemen.
She's using the 8-ball of gods. Just gives it a shake and be like, "Okay, it's this one."
Future
Ask,
cloudy.
ask again later.
The great 8-ball of the gods.
Ask again.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
specifically, I want to know Philo's reaction, but I also want to know what Basidia's reaction is to that, even if it's nonverbal.
Sovereign Philo does listen to your warning, but doesn't seem to be bothered, and would say that the Great Cedar would never harm us. This will be a day of joy.
Well, the demon that came out in the last city might harm you.
About yay tall. Screams a lot.
Yay tall.
Cock the
Can you even
Yay
spread your arms
tall.
that far?
I don't think your arms can spread that wide.
No, I'll use
Throw a rock up in the air.
prestidigitation and kind of like make the this tall.
Oh, what about fills the cave? It's got 2 heads.
Screams a lot.
Very
Came
angry.
out of the water. Was summoned by
Bunch
acolytes.
of what's it called?
Water fuckers.
Autofellatio
Fuckers.
experts.
None of what you guys say seem to get through to Sovereign Philo.
Oh my god, this guy's a knucklehead.
But is Basidia making any
Basidia looks highly uncomfortable, but as before will not say anything in front of Philo.
We got to get Basidia alone. I just say that out loud.
I send him a mental throat slit image. Point towards the other mushroom.
And Prescott. And everyone thought I was bad.
Raise an eyebrow. I mean, I just murder the mushrooms and then chop them up and make a fantastic stir fry. You do other things, more horrifying things with them. So I mean,
Prescott puts his hands to stool. Shush you.
And
don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Sovereign Basidia would, at this point, say something along the lines of, continue your preparations, we'll go explore.
We'll go do things and stuff.
I'll go give them a tour
Have fun.
to Sovereign Philo.
That's a great idea.
Let's
Thank you very
go.
much. Let's
Yes,
go.
that is an amazing idea. Somehow, out of the 2 mushrooms, one of you is not a dumbass. And Prescott just walks away.
And I'm the one with the 8 charisma.
And
Nah.
the scream.
Should we get started
Somebody-
right now?
Yes,
no, we're
let's
walking
follow
away.
Basidia.
Come on, Basidia,
We're
let's go.
skipping
Show us
along
this
once
place.
again.
And Sovereign Basidia kind of leads you back towards the where you met Lubamub. Simply because it's the easiest way away. So, despite all of the weird happenings of just a few moments ago, Sovereign Philo doesn't seem to think that this is weird in any way, shape, or form.
He's off his rocker. Kill him first.
He could be under duress.
So, Basidia,
Like,
what's going on?
He could be under something.
Tell us what's really going on.
Under dresses?
Once you guys are far enough away, Basidia then will send out their own spores.
To override the other spores.
Gonna need a bath after this.
And what was it that you asked?
The hell's going on?
Oh, I just said to Basidia. So tell us what's really going on now. I could tell that you weren't comfortable talking around him.
And you can tell that the city is very troubled by what's been happening. They look very uncomfortable with the questioning, but also a little bit confused. And it starts off warning you that it's probably not good for you softers to stay in Neverlight Grove for too long.
Would you need some help?
There was another group that arrived not too long ago, only a few cycles ago, that accepted Philo's offer to go visit the garden.
And what happened to them?
I haven't seen
Let me
them
guess, they
since.
never came back?
Philo never even talks of them.
I look at Prescott saying, we got to go up to that garden.
Philo's
fire.
Circle of Masters is taking most of the carcasses, like the Greek Alpha that you brought. They're taking most of these things up to the garden, and they just disappear. We never see them again.
Like a sacrifice?
Or a sacrifice.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're being consumed.
They're
maybe?
feeding something.
We need more fire.
Yeah, can we? Is there like a Molotov that we can prepare?
How many?
I mean, we did have those.
Prescott looks at Basidian. How many of the Myconids are on your side, and how many are on his side?
I think our grove is split about evenly. Even in these separate circles, it's hard to tell since we no longer meld together.
Sounds like they're
Is
hiding something.
is that half under control?
What do you mean?
Are they under an influence? Are they being controlled by something or someone?
I mean, they seem taken with Sovereign Philo's weird ideas, if that's what you mean.
Hey,
Touch it.
Sarith, why don't you go up
I-
with Philo and check out
Some,
this?
I thought we're kind of quote unquote speaks. I was like, at this point, I think they're taken with a little more than just their words. I feel there's basically some kind of Philo seems to have some kind of additional influence on their part. It's just a hunch.
I wonder if Philo is being influenced by demonic activity.
Sarith could help with that. Why don't we let Sarith go talk to Philo?
Do we really want to do that?
What other choices? Then again, there's always Zugdemoy.
Prescott chimes up. Well, if you want to know about demons, I mean, hello.
Isn't Sugdemoy a demon?
Demon Lord.
She's a mushroom demon.
Pretty much.
People
Kevin.
people seem to have forgotten about that conversation. I guess.
Oh
Nope.
yeah, I did.
That was the one with
Refresh.
Sarith?
I don't know if it's Seraph or someone else. But yeah, basically the demon lord of mushrooms decay and such rot.
Oh, and the city pauses for a moment and seems
And
to
it goes quiet.
seems to kind of like shake its head almost, and it pulls out two. They look like some sort of gourd, but they're definitely mushrooms. They're kind of purple. And hands them over and says
Sweet.
that this is thanks for killing the Grick and the Shambling Mound.
I break
They
off a
gave us-
piece and pop it in my mouth.
Wait, they gave
when
us mushrooms as a reward?
Well, to be fair, they're mushroom people. It's
Good God.
You actually, when you grab them, you kind of shake them a little bit, and you notice there's some sort of liquid inside.
potions.
Don't tell Tonguebill.
What?
Could I do they have a cap or is it like a sealed?
It would have a kind of a piece that would come off so you could see what's inside.
I dip my finger in it and then taste it.
Tashe will ask him what it is.
Well, that's one way to test a potion.
Well, you can tell that it's full of a red fluid that smells and tastes strongly of mint.
Mm.
With your quick taste, because apparently that's magically how all you need to figure out what a potion does. It's 2 potions of greater healing.
Those could be very useful.
Oh, this is healing potion he's giving us.
Keep those safe. I think
Put those
will be
somewhere
fine.
safe. Yes.
And it says,
I'd say thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm told actually looks to say and like thank you very much. This is much appreciated. He said and that's not like sarcasm. That's insincere.
It's very sincere sarcasm.
Fuck off.
there's a long pause before Basidius says that it's afraid that Philo has contracted some sort of diseased spore.
Would you know any cures of it? Do you know what it is?
Fire.
I don't know if it can be cured. I don't know what it is. It's different and wrong.
Is there any way we could get some of it to test it?
I think that there's something strange to do with the Garden of Welcome. There's got to be a clue up there.
Well, why
We
was
have to get
Philo
up
super? Why was Philo super happy that I brought Stool back?
We are always happy to find our lost members.
So he was going to take us there tomorrow.
I think we should go there
Philo-
today.
It's not ready yet.
Or
Philo
whatever
has
tomorrow means down here.
offered to bring you to the Garden of Welcome, whatever tomorrow is.
What is happening east? Why won't you let us go now?
No.
They're getting
Look.
it prepared for something, but I say we go there.
Let's go take. We'll say, hey, we're gonna go take a rest, and we need to go up there by ourselves. We need to just sneak up there.
I mean, you could
Unfortunately.
straight up just say to him, there's been a lot of demonic influence going around. A lot of people are getting really strange desires because of it, and more than likely, this is probably a part of that. And you should take all of the people that follow you and potentially get the hell out of here, or they might not be
Yeah, I actually agree.
themselves for much longer.
I agree because I think leaving Basidia out in the dark on this one is not a good idea.
Yeah.
No. That should be like, throw everything into the pot at this point.
We cleared you a path. Please go.
Or
We are going to go kill Philo.
well, maybe not kill Philo yet. Still need to find out what the fuck is going on because, well,
It'll more than likely result in killing Philo.
I would ask that you investigate the garden first. I can't.
Well, absolutely.
It is a huge risk for me to try and investigate what's going on up there.
Okay,
I
fine.
think that Philo went up there and contracted the spore and has started this because of that. We don't need me getting sick as well.
No,
That's a
we
good
don't
idea.
want you to go up there. We want you to prepare to run away.
Agreed.
Because if whatever we find up there is anything like what we found before, we're not going to be able to stop it. And about the only thing you're going to be able to do is run very, very quickly.
Well,
Those who have
shamble
already
very, very quickly.
contracted, yes, shamble very, very quickly. Whoever has contracted this spore, as is, may not be savable. So, but
And
be prepared to save who you can as quickly as you can and get out of here.
you
Is
ask
Don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry.
you ask us to go investigate.
Hold
We
on,
ask you to
hold on,
run
wait a
away.
minute. Silver was
And
talking.
are we taking Stool with us into this place though? Think about that.
What were you, Silver? Can you finish what you were saying?
Do they know of any? Does he know of any other caves, safe caves, somewhere a good distance away from here that they could potentially set up a new colony if worse comes to worse? And
We
they have
wandered
to
here
run very quickly.
and found here.
We can wander elsewhere and find elsewhere.
Basically.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna straight up say, get prepared to do that because it's entirely possible you're going to need to be, leaving very quickly.
If you can bring back proof, I am certain that I can get those unaffected by these spores to leave. As it stands,
Tashi
they
will
don't
get
see
very
the danger
happy.
like I do.
Yeah. Tolwar is actually going to turn to
That
Prescott.
won't take long.
Go ahead.
And if you can do this for me, there is something that I can give you at the end.
Let's get her going.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Tungdo's going to turn to Prescott. Are you sure we want to bring Stool to this place, seeing as how the spores seem to have an additional effect on their kind?
Yeah, leave spore with him.
Always Stool. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Little Buddy will not. I do not
Leave
feel that
Little
Little
Buddy with
Buddy
him,
will be
Kevin.
safe there.
no, but I don't think he's gonna be safe with these.
He'll be safe with
My
Basidia.
goodness.
He'll be
Yeah.
safer with Basidia.
Or leave him up. Take your pick, but
Well-
definitely do not want to bring him where we're going.
Do you want a chance Stool getting infected?
I asked Stool what he thinks.
It's not good to have infected stool.
It turns into runny stool.
Stool's a little bit confused over the concern. It's not exactly
Evil Spore's bad.
it's not exactly super intelligent or super in touch with the world, though it has grown in your time. But it says that if the sovereign Basidia, is concerned over them being taken over, perhaps I should stay behind.
Prescott lowers Stool next to Basidia. And he leans back up and just eyes Basidia. If anything happens to him, I will kill you.
Oh, well then. I will be very, very angry, Elephant Man.
And
He is my big one.
Sovereign Basidia actually doesn't take any offense to this. It seems to understand the connection and says that
Oh, the connection.
An elephant and a stool.
if anything happens to Stool, then all is lost for our colony.
So Stool is
What?
important to your colony. Wow.
Yeah, Prescott looks up. Prince Stool?
Stool Prince.
As in, if something happens to Stool while Basidia is protecting it, then something happened to
Then
Basidia.
they're all fucked.
Yeah.
All right, little buddy. Don't don't spore strangers.
Don't stool strangers.
Uh,
Those poor strangers.
don't wander into any unknown streams. Stay close to Basidia, and I will be back for you.
Do not trust the mushroom people that are acting strangely.
And
Prescott,
if anyone
he's-
tries to give you mushrooms, you go the other way and scream for an adult.
Thalmor just comes over and taps Prescott. He's Stool, not your son.
I don't.
Tashay will put her hand on Prescott's shoulder. It's okay. It's all right. I don't think he meant. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand how much stool means to you. But you're doing well protecting.
What time of day is it right now? So
That's
Irrelevant.
It's all relative.
yeah,
relative.
well, that's what I meant. Relatively speaking.
It hasn't been that long since you woke up. You guys woke up and it basically went straight to the Sovereigns.
I say we
So
get up to
sorry,
this garden as soon as we can.
So it's only been a couple
Yeah, let's
hours
go.
at tops.
At tops. As you guys start preparing to leave, Basidia pulls out a slightly moldy scroll case from somewhere and pulls a
There you
scroll
go, Brad.
from it and hands it over.
A moldy scroll case from somewhere.
I love that picture that Silver just posted.
Thank you. I worked very hard on it for like about 3 seconds on Google.
That's super relevant here.
It is.
I wish we could put
It
that
is
on the
perfect.
recording. That is
Yes, you
so
can, actually.
that's so damn relevant.
It's not difficult.
No, but like
Why is Jade recording or who's recording?
she is.
Just
I think
add
she's
a
gonna
scene,
import the picture.
images, and there you go.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Actually, is Jade just recording it or streaming it?
Recording.
Oh.
So Tashay will reach out for her hand for the scroll case. What's this?
What's this? There's magic in the air.
Magically delicious.
I don't know what you're going to meet up there, but this may help.
Please don't eat the mold.
It's
I will-
unsafe up there.
Tache,
Hey,
Side-eye.
I love blue. I love blue cheese. Damn it.
Tasha gives Prescott the side eye, and then she opens it up.
Prescott also leans over her shoulder and is reading it.
It's like, was that a
Also.
scroll or a beer? I can't tell.
It's a scroll of protection from fiends.
Gonna need that.
See if that's
does
on
that
your
affect one
warlock
person,
spell list. I
or-
don't know if that's on the. It's probably on the cleric spell list though.
So is that something that affects one person then, or does it affect
what is it- what
anyone
is it
in
called?
an area? Scroll of Protect Fiend. Or from
I believe that's
Fiend.
usually either it's personal or it's a 10-foot radius version. Which one is it? Usually,
And also, I can't find the. Yeah, no, I can't find it. I just have in spells I can see protection from energy, evil, and good and poison. Not. So I'm not sure.
It's a little bit, as far as I understand these particular scrolls, they are a little bit different than spell scrolls. This is an item that would be able to be used by anyone who can cast spells, basically, who can use
Like
magic
me.
items. The Scroll of Protection works against a specific type of creature, which in this case is fiends. You use an action to read the scroll, and it encloses you in an invisible barrier that extends from you to form a 5-foot radius, 10-foot high cylinder.
Is
That
a
could be
demon
very, very
considered
useful.
a fiend?
A
Yes,
demon is a
actually.
fiend.
Yeah.
Aha.
It's just we have to be
Mother
very,
nature.
very close together for.
This
Everybody hug.
This one is specific to a person because it's a 5-foot radius. Well,
Yeah, that's what
5-foot
I
radius, it
said.
would be 10 foot
Centered on them.
wide. So it would
So,
be
like I said-
them and like weird,
One or two.
like
one,
4
be like that,
squares.
yeah, be like them and one or two other people, depending on
Would-
how
And
chummy
it
they get.
moves with you and remains centered on you.
Would this repel the warlock connection?
No. That's that for protection spells. That's something that's different. That's a different thing entirely.
This just prevents creatures of the specified type from entering or affecting anything within this cylinder.
Though usually spells of that type have the provision of that if you provoke an action that forces the critter in, it's no longer blocked by it.
Yeah, the effect ends.
So you can't like
And
put it
they
up.
can attempt to break it with a charisma check.
Ugh, that's not good.
Yeah, force of mind.
Well, Tashe will accept it
personality.
gratefully and say thank you.
And Basidia will make clear that this would be in addition to the treasure if you guys go to the garden and come back safely. As long as you can provide some form of proof beyond just your word.
Someone's head.
Recon.
So, Jay,
Yeah.
with all those, like, what were they, fire mushrooms or something that we got before, can we make some improvised Molotov cocktails?
That
Like
you
a
haven't
lot of
drunk
them?
yet?
Do you have a lot of strong alcohol that's not drunk yet?
Do I want to say yes? I guess I have one bag.
I have a water skin full of booze.
All I have left is a water skin full of booze. The rest is all gone.
I have one too, so we could each have one.
It depends. Do you want to burn your booze?
I
Life.
Let's all
booze,
watch the dwarf
life,
cry.
Booze.
I use mine to do one.
Tongue curls up into a ball.
As long as you have like an empty bottle of some sort, yes, you could.
Dad, I don't have.
I have 2. One second.
You want to know what's even more fucked up too? I have a tinder box.
Huh.
Would that work?
Yeah.
I have one of those.
I have a tinder box too.
I tried to move it into the frickin' party sheet, but I don't think I can.
The empty bottles.
Yes.
Just the one or both of them?
Depends how many he needs.
I only need one. I only have one water.
There we go.
I believe that was the booze you guys got from Slooblood Up.
Which, from what we remember, was so strong an elephant went blind.
And that was also a long time ago. At this point,
About what, 2 weeks? 3
longer than
weeks at most?
that.
So yeah, between that, we have tinder boxes and torches. We could light some shit on fire.
How many of those mushrooms did we acquire, though? The fire
I thought-
mushrooms.
Honestly, I didn't think we caught any. I didn't think we wanted to bother.
Well, in that case, before we run up on top of the cliff and do that, as long as it's not going to take much time, I would almost say we backtrack to that previous cave with the whatever the hell it was. If it was no, I don't think it was the Grick. It was the Shambling
Grick,
Mound
was
or
it?
whatever, and salvage some additional things. Because
That
personally,
was
I would
the
rather.
night lights.
Mm,
Nope, that's not it either. Okay, where are you?
'cause I'd like to leave a big old bag or 6 or 20
Kaboom.
There it is.
in that grove of welcome, and then throw that Molotov.
I also have something called a Chryso barrel, and read it as Chernobyl and got very confused for a second. I was gonna say, let's throw Chernobyl at them.
I like your idea, Silver. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's like, if the only question though is the thing, is that whole area up there even vulnerable to fire?
We would have to find out. At the very least, the fire would probably take out basically airborne spores.
Hmm. That's why, at the very least, I wanted to have that as, something that's available to use in case, we want to just whip a bunch of bags of explosive material, essentially, or similar down there, and
I have a
then
flamethrower.
watch the whole thing burn while
guys-
we run away.
I have a flamethrower.
Yeah, and I have a load. I have a lot of fire spells.
It was the torch stock.
Yeah, was that in the Shambling Mound area? I think it was.
There
Grick
were
was
some
variety of
in
different
the Shambling Mound. The Grick area, you didn't look for or look too closely at the mushrooms.
Mm. How
I
far away
say, I
was the
say we,
Shambling
I
Mound
say we
area?
go do both. Look at those mushrooms and then double back for those.
For the Grick area or what?
We need to go pick them up and then I double back on whatever the mushrooms that were over there.
How long does it take to make one of these Molotov
Mm,
cocktails? Probably a downtime.
Because we only have like
Oh, so I just
tonight.
now realized.
A lot of extra time.
Yeah, I'm just now realizing too that Silver's idea is to make mushroom bombs.
Yes, that is my idea. Honestly,
Shroom
if it-
explosives.
if it's gonna take too long to make the Molotov, again, same thing for traveling the distance. We do have fire spells, so we don't need the we don't need the Molotov to set it off.
Oh,
But
I've got a fire turret.
to. We want to have more than just a little bit of fire. Like I'm planning on, like if possible, I want to turn that entire area into a sea of fire.
So all we need is if you get the flammable liquid between Tungdil and I,
Drink it
we
all.
can we can light that bitch up.
That's my plan.
I could turn into a giant fire beetle, but it doesn't have anything fire. It's only in light.
I was gonna
That's
say.
unfortunate.
I was gonna say Prescott has a tinderbox and torches because my only elemental spell is frostbite, and that's the opposite. So
All right, Jade. We say it, so we do it. You're up.
Well, the question is, how long does it take to get back to the Shambling
Yes.
Mound area? That's
Yes,
the
yes.
only.
I do have a flame blade. I can light up a flame blade.
But does that will that actually set? Will that actually ignite
One fire
flammables?
spell will be enough, though. One
Yeah, it
fire
doesn't
spell
matter.
should be
We
enough.
have a flamethrower. We're good.
It deals fire damage, so
Well, my flamethrower
now,
works within 15 feet of the
mine
turret.
works. Mine works within
We
5.
don't.
And
we
if
don't
we need anything
necessarily
longer,
know.
I got you. I got
Okay.
burning hands. I've got all kinds of shit.
We don't know if it's vulnerable to fire, though,
Roasted has the long things.
I've got
or if
scorching
anything in that
ray.
area is vulnerable to fire.
Yeah, I guess we're just assuming mushrooms.
Yeah. Well,
Mushroom
like I said,
spores,
at the
fire.
very least, it basically burn off whatever spores are floating in the area. So
All right, how
Yep.
long, Jade? If we go back, how long would that set us
If
back?
you're wanting to go back and you want to craft these Molotovs and such,
More so just the travel time to get back to that cave, quickly harvest a couple bags of those shrooms, then
Is
get
the
back.
torch
Because we don't
stock-
necessarily need the Molotovs.
the torch stock has a chance of being a Molotov on its own.
Yes.
Nice. Someone picked those, I swear.
Yeah, I could have sworn I did, but I don't know if I have any on me. No, I got some Tongue of Madness.
The Tongue of Madness I also need to go in and fix.
I got some good berries still, apparently. Hunting
After-
traps, mess kits.
After 24 hours, good berries go ugly.
I have matching pearls. Does that help?
keep your pants on.
Ugh.
No, I meant literally strand of matched pearls.
Ugh.
And I think nobody
irritating.
picked the devil's mushroom from
No,
way
pick the
back
devil's
when.
tongue.
I know you guys picked the Tongue of Madness.
Last I heard, I was
Tundle knew exactly what they were, and he basically kind of kept them away from it.
well. Last I heard, we were brewing a trunk full of Tongue of Madness juice. So I don't know whatever happened to that. I think Prescott should have that trunk still.
I just fixed your Tongue of Madness, by the way, Silver,
Yeah.
so that it actually has an effect. I did the same for yours too, by the way, Brad. I don't see the torch stock on anyone. I don't quite remember if you guys had actually harvested it or just talked about it.
If
Mhm.
we go back
If you want to go
and
back
collect it,
to collect it,
5 days will pass.
No, they weren't that far from here.
The Shambling Mound wasn't that far down that path to the south.
Yeah, I think the Grick was farther.
But for that specific patch would probably put you towards the end of the day. Going from where you're at all the way down to it and back.
Yep, we'll go collect it and we can head straight in. You good?
It's kind
Then
of
we
hard to
spend-
say whether it would be the rest of your day or it would be at least 6
A few
hours.
hours.
Probably more than that technically, but that's what I'm coming up with now.
Well, considering we just woke up, came here after the long rest, basically, I imagine we maybe spent an hour getting here, having the conversation, so that would only be 7 hours, so it's not terrible.
Yeah, I'm game.
We'd still have some time left to do a quick investigation and maybe get the hell out, but if we wanted to then get distance from here before resting again, we might have to suffer a bit of exhaustion, but yeah. Depending on how close we want to be to this place when we, nap. But I'd say it's worth the sacrifice.
All right, maybe we should put it to vote. Who wants to go back and get the sparky mushrooms?
Should we split the party? Prescott and I go up to the garden.
Splitting the party.
I
That's always been a good
don't
idea.
think I want to do that. I mean, literally, we'd come back and you'd be.
We'd be eating.
I mean, well,
We'd be
We'd be
carcass.
Truman.
Yeah. Let's go get these and see if we can get over to that garden.
So that's 3 to get the sparkies. What do you say, Prescott?
Can we do it? Can I roll?
Okay.
Can any of us roll for anything to see if we know that fire's even going to work on this stuff before we
Well,
kill ourselves doing this?
hang on a moment.
Nature. Or...
I found the Prescott Nashok after picture.
Oh shit!
Pretty much.
That's funny.
You aren't entirely certain what you'd find up there. But in your experience so far, being around Stool, you haven't noticed any sort of fear of fire.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. I don't know if we want to burn a day.
Well, if we burn a day, we're basically not going there early. There's also that.
I just think that Philo's insistence that we wait till tomorrow to see this means that a
We're out of
chance to
time.
see it before that we don't have much time.
We could be on a bit of a time crunch, that is true.
Well, I guess we could just make do with fire spells and lightning bolts and all that shit.
Well, worst case scenario, we know where to come get it.
I have 2 things of Kuato and alcohol that we can just throw
We
in
could burn
light.
the alcohol. Or we could just have Tungdale piss on everything.
Yes, actually, that would. Considering the amount of booze he drinks, that probably wouldn't be a terrible idea.
He
I
doesn't
know.
have he doesn't have a liver. He has a basic filter that says booze that way, everything else this way.
Well, don't think anything less of me. But what if we went and found a Maya condom as
what?
a test sacrifice to see if it burns?
All I heard was
Or
Oh,
you could just ask the
Yes.
guy who's still with us technically, because we
Yeah,
haven't
it's
left
actually-
yet.
hey, do y'all burn?
So, do you guys have any fear / whatever of fire? What happens if there's a big fire that breaks out here? What's
Did you start the fire?
How do
The
you
soul
deal with
is
that?
burning.
The shrooms are on fire.
We don't give a fuck. Let the motherfucker burn.
Woo!
Piss,
This
mighty
idea
tongue Joe,
seems
piss.
a little bit concerned at your idea.
We could set the entire place on fire. That might not be good.
And at
Okay,
your
so let's-
question, and says something like, I mean, we keep our grove rather wet.
Hmm.
Okay.
Does
At least
anybody
that-
have a spell that can dry an area very quickly?
Anybody have any oil?
No.
Nope, just a tinderbox.
I could shape water away.
2 tongues of madness.
That's gonna
Ti-
need
ti- a tiny bit at a time.
I did not see, or I did not realize that Blight is a level 4 spell.
I love Blight. That's one of my favorite spells. I play an old cranky dwarf who casts Blight by farting.
That's great.
Oh, that's epic.
Yeah, his name is Farknut.
Sparknut.
But now he just got the spell Contagion, and he uses
Oh,
his armpit to cast that.
Oh, that's funny.
So, is that somatic, verbal, or material component? Yes.
Hmm.
Like, don't worry about it.
And this idiot would say, well, we don't necessarily have a weakness to fire, but we're not resistant either.
So, if we were going to make use of that idea, the spark shrooms would be basically a must because they would burn a lot longer. So I'm not saying I want to light your entire grove on fire, but if that thing's a source of evil and contamination and bad things,
I promise
Gotta
we
burn
won't
the
turn your
plague.
grove into
And
Australia.
And,
Oh, not
suddenly,
Australia.
I was about to say, and suddenly Silver turns into a Southern Baptist preacher.
Oh God! Burn
No,
the
no,
heretics! Burn the heretics!
I might just be a Southern lawyer, but
But I don't know.
Oh my God,
I
is that
might
the dwarf?
begin an inkling.
Yeah, that's
of
Farknut.
pyromancy.
Oh, that's awesome. A curmudgeon-y.
Yes, he's
Dwarf.
hilarious. He's a very powerful dwarf, though. He likes to change it. He can use his spores to reanimate things.
Oh, he's circle of spores.
Mm-hmm.
He just basically kicked the crap, and then here he comes.
And here's the funny thing: my DM introduced this character last game. His
Oh, lovely.
true love. He just all of a
Hey,
sudden.
it's Danny
Her-
Poo Poo's sister.
No, they fell in love, and she passed him a note to meet her behind a tree there in the Shadow Fae. And so
Let us
now
know how that goes.
they've become one.
Okay.
Ew.
I don't want to hear what their sex sounds like.
Probably a lot of
No, you
spoilers.
You don't, because this is the way Farknut talks.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Basically, think of it as sex is slow and sloppy.
Yeah, well, he's old, so it's got to be kind of slow.
Old and dwarven.
He's-
60-year sex.
He's done there where they've been in combat, and he's like, like something's chasing him, and he won't run away from it. He just lets it hit him because he's like, I'm too tired to run.
Just wait till I bend over. You ain't gonna like that afterwards.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got off track. Let's go.
Yes, you did.
We say it, so we do it.
Personally, I
Okay.
still like the Spark Shroom Inferno plan, but that's just me.
Yeah, but we're kind of close to crunch for time.
Yeah, but only a day's worth. That's like what, 24 hours? We take 6 hours out of that 24 hours.
A day is what if we're
The
if
problem,
we're,
I see what everyone's saying. I think if I like the idea, but if we go, we take 6 hours, then we go inspect this area. If we run into something like really bad, then we're gonna need to take a long rest before we return. But will we even need to before we return to Basidia?
Well, we already had our long rest, so we don't necessarily need another one. If
not unless we get into a fight and get fucked up.
yeah, in which case we're gonna want to be out of here very, very quickly. So
True.
long rest would take place far away from here as we can get with what time we have
No,
left.
she's saying if we go get that and fight something along the way.
Oh,
Can we do
well, we just cleared that like yesterday.
can we do an anonymous vote?
Yeah.
We'll all send a whisper to the DM.
Or we can just vote.
Yeah.
Matter.
Yeah.
I vote shrooms. Who's with me?
I don't care.
We got
Alright.
1 for 1 neutral.
I vote. Yeah, I vote shrooms.
We got 2 shrooms.
I vote shrooms if we like push the time, like force
Run.
That was the plan anyway.
Okay. We say it, so we do it.
All right, we're going to get some shrooms.
exhausted. Here we come.
Well, you know
Nah,
what?
we got
Yeah,
this. We got
I
this.
mean,
There-
not right
there-
away, because there are still 24 hours in a day, and I said probably about 6 round trip.
I've
Mhm.
got a lesser restoration
round trip.
spell. We got greater restoration potions. We're good.
And worst comes to worse, honestly, we're eventually going to have to suffer exhaustion one way or the other. It's best to get the experience out of the way now, per se. I mean, God knows I've never had to suffer exhaustion, period. So it'll be an interesting change.
Yeah, we might just get it done.
Since you guys did, well, go ahead and make a survival check, whoever's kind of leading this.
Well, I'm good
Let
at
me
survival.
I only have a
I
+3.
am kind of good at survival. I got a +3. I get a +5.
All right, go. +5. We got one. Oh, just one person? Okay, Ashok got
I mean,
12.
I could, but she only asked for one, so.
It really, considering this is down tunnels, probably just one.
Ooh, I can shape into something good.
It's actually not that difficult to find the same trail that you guys went down, like, pretty much yesterday. Because there wasn't a rest between those fights as far as I remember.
Nope.
And you rolled high enough that you managed to find the same trail you made it through yesterday, and nothing's taken up residence on that trail yet. So you managed to make it back to that strange little cavern without much issue. There's a couple of extra twists and turns along the way, but there's nothing, you didn't run into any creatures.
Okay. Do we see the mushrooms and stuff that we're looking for, or do we gotta look around?
There's the same mushroom groups that there were before.
Let's start picking.
I will fill an entire bedroll.
Yeah, I'm gonna start picking very carefully.
Hmm. Obviously, they are mushrooms that could go boom.
These are the torch stalks. Which I believe you guys made a check on before.
Mhm.
That the danger in them actually isn't in the harvesting. It's in having anything burnable nearby.
Mhm. Yeah, if you go to Underdark Fungus in the maps, that's the one. It's the lower left 10.
There was a couple of different mushrooms here. I think that lower left was something else.
That's got red on it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the one, the circle to the north and then the smaller patch off to the right was the ones that were the torch stalks. I believe the red were ones that would explode on touch.
Ah, let's not touch those.
Yeah.
I think they're poison, if I remember right.
Well, whichever one we're looking for, we're gonna go pick a bunch of those. I'm gonna fill an entire bedroll worth, because again, we need a lot of boots
Yeah,
to
I
strap
think
that to my back.
yeah, Tasha's not gonna put anything into her bag. She's not gonna pick any of them. She will be light them on fire though, but yeah, she's not, yeah, she's not all that dexterous. Still a little nervous about that.
So if you want to spend some time come on. There we go. Oh no, probably more like.
Not the mic.
Okay. So, you guys spend a little bit of time harvesting the mushrooms. I'd say, well, it depends on how many you're after.
I was gonna fill a whole
Many as we can
bedroll.
carry. Yeah. I'll do
Yeah,
the same.
and strap it to my back just to have a good amount of. We want a big old burn.
I'd say it would probably take a good hour for you to pick these as clean as you can in
Mhm.
order to fill up how much you're trying to. So it would make the whole round trip about 7 instead of 6.
Yeah,
But
which
it's
is fine.
still not that bad.
What do you think about weight for a bedroll full of mushrooms?
There's actually a weight already assigned to them.
Wow.
Well, how much?
There, I'm gonna say and Ashok, you were also after them.
Yep. Let's see.
I was trying to as well.
And suddenly they all disappear.
All you see is a flash of fire. Turns out he was evil after all.
Burn, baby, burn.
That reminds me of that one
Penis.
skit in SNL.
I've got a max of 180.
Back when SNL was
Are-
still relevant?
Are you a grower guy?
Are you a what guy?
Grow a guy?
Oh.
I'm
Okay.
old. Let me have my petty amusements.
Very
Very petty.
We got 25 of them.
bad.
Should be 25 each. It seemed easier to
God
do it
blow
that
up
way
a
than
fucking
to
grove.
have you try and get them out of the party sheet. So you guys do that and then head straight back.
Mm-hmm. If we got all we can carry, then away we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go torch a grove. Or part of a grove. Have stool behind, right?
There is still 1 potion and 1 scroll in the party sheet.
I guess I'll take one because I'm tanky boy. So whoever uses the scroll is going to be our shield as we run away. So this is where we start using our double move to just,
Get the
run
fuck out of
very,
Dodge.
very quickly. This is where Brad wishes he was Catman still. It could just, do like 240 in a turn. Or is it 120?
I got a couple things with good speed.
Maximum, I think I could do 150 or 200.
Does
Which is
anyone
still
else want to
ridiculous.
carry the scroll?
I got a horse at 60 foot. Normal move. No,
Do
I
you
don't
want-
need to carry.
Do you want to carry the scroll, Prescott? Do you have a preference?
No.
I mean, anyone can use it, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, someone who's going to be on the back line should probably take it. Maybe Thulwar.
Okie dokie.
Or whoever's the slowest. I don't know. Somebody.
Well,
I'm usually on the back line, but sometimes I have to get up in there to cure people, so
Well, if that it actually would be better if you had it then, because if it's meant to keep fiends out. So
okay.
if you're moving up to cure someone, that would be a good bit of cover.
It's true.
Shape of a cone of shield.
sorry. Just a long day.
Always long days for me.
Does anyone have detect magic?
Stick the
No.
mud
No.
I just don't have
No.
it prepared. Okay.
nerps.
No.
Snargle. So we get back to the grove.
You make it back the same paths without any issues.
Onwards to the cliff face.
Well, there's a path that goes up. On the way back, we could actually probably head up.
Is there anything guarding the path?
I'll stealth and find out.
Go, spider form.
Spider.
What's my best stealth shape here?
Itsy bitsy spider. What up the wall? Smack.
Some of my shapes are actually meant for stealth.
Mm-hmm.
My panther is +6 on stealth.
Yeah. But panthers don't exactly blend into the Underdark.
They're black, somewhat.
Depends how dark the
Mostly.
area is. And I don't think Prescott exactly went stealthy.
I mean, he's a giant elephant.
You all saw Prescott attempt to walk away.
Very poorly.
Panther is a +6. What else do I got? Cat. Cat
From
has.
this, let's see. From this distance, you would see that this back plateau does definitely rise higher than any of the other terraces, and it's screened by a natural fence of Zerkwood stalks. You can, from here, you can actually hear this very quiet, muffled murmuring.
Murmur, 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 murmur.
Can I make out any of the, if it's words or if it's anything intelligible?
Make
Oh, yeah,
a
we came-
perception check.
We came in from the south anyway, so we
Yeah,
have
good idea, perception
immediate access to that level, don't we?
Let's see. Actions, skills here.
That didn't give me my +6 on my stealth.
Any case, continue on.
No, it didn't. 2 22s. I'm prowling around.
He's prowling around like now. Just can't see him.
So you can't, even those of you that rolled really high, you can't really make out anything intelligible about the murmuring, but it does seem to kind of like ebb and flow, almost like some sort of weird chanting. But it's kind of, there's no words.
Okay. All right. So
If I stealth
chanting.
up there, do I see anything or?
I also want to know if I can tell it's magical.
For magic, that would be Arcana.
Oh!
There's nothing inherently magical about it, but there is that same kind of, it's very offsetting. It's not, it sounds very unnatural.
Perhaps Thorwar should try. What question would this be considered as rocky terrain?
Well, and hold on. Quinn, Ashok is still thing up.
That's what I was going to do as well.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
he had asked specifically what he saw.
Yeah, I'd say I kind of ran up the path, staying around any bushes or.
This
Yeah,
is
'cause
your panther
because my character had to
shape.
get.
Yeah.
Yes, it is rocky terrain. You would notice, Ashok, that, and of course this is one of the weird things with wild shape. Okay. You notice that your sense of sight has dulled a little bit by taking the form of a panther. Panthers don't have dark vision.
Okay. Did I smell anything?
Well, I could have
How's it
done
that way?
that too. I could smell too.
So Tashe will tear off a little piece of cloth from her tabard and cast light on it and offer to
Give
put
me a
it around.
bandana.
Well,
A panther
off-
bandana.
she'll offer to put it around his neck if he wants it.
Congratulations,
Well,
you have a beacon. That's
I-
that's kind of gonna negate the
I
stealth.
probably had to do
portion of
stealth at
things.
disadvantage.
Exactly. That's why I'm offering it. If not, she'll just put it around her wrist because she needs one anyway.
Well, how much? Well, I can't talk to anybody, so in the panther form.
But the spell, I mean, you've known it because you've seen her use it the entire time you've been down here. It's dim light 20, and then it's bright light 20, dim light 20 more, I think. Let me check.
Although if I'm spored, or does that affect? Well, we've been gone 7 hours. That lost the effect of spores.
Okay, something's weird. Where's my light cantrip? Okay, this is weird. Because I've always had light. Or does that come with my...
So with my reduced sight, though, I didn't see anything because I'll come back, go back to normal shape until.
The murmuring would have grown louder, but you wouldn't be able to see a whole lot.
So I get back to the party, and I'm now back in my normal shape. Well, I couldn't see anything. The murmuring got louder.
Right. I guess Thulwar is gonna give it a try because, well, otherwise we're just gonna be sitting here with our thumbs up our collective arses.
But now that I'm back, I see Tashay with that cloth.
Mm-hmm.
I could try that.
Well, it's not my day either. Oh well.
So if you stick your neck out, Tim, you know, or are you back? You're back to
Oh,
your
wow.
regular shape.
Yeah, but if you suggest that to me, I'd go for it.
Yeah. She'd
Okay.
hand it over.
So I'll do that, and then I use my slots here because.
Roll crappy and get and 14.
So I
roll
will.
crappy after.
Will this work if I stealth again? And should I do it with disadvantage or? Because I'll have this light wrapped around me.
Considering the source of light, it would be with disadvantage.
All right, let me give this a whirl.
And I assume you're staying away from where Thulwar may or may not be.
Yeah.
So your stealth is not much worse than what his was.
Sadly, mine was with
Advantage.
Yeah.
Prescott smash.
Brad, your rolls are getting lower and lower and lower for stealth each time you do it.
You guys
Pretty much the same.
walk up to where the fence is, and you can hear the muttering grow louder as you get closer.
Bottom.
How close are you guys getting?
I'll get as close as I can until I sense. Well, okay, so
Great
where that circle
danger.
is,
Within Eldritch Blast range.
I would say maybe I try. Let's see if I can do a good circle here. Maybe right in that area. I don't know. Maybe I'm curious about what this is right here. So maybe I'd go right about there.
So this is the one way that's actually not fully blocked by still growing zirkwood mushrooms. There seems to be some sort of gate across.
Where that yellow square was?
Kind of across there.
Oh,
roughly
okay. So
speaking.
That 10?
Yes.
Aren't we above that anyway, though?
You guys, as far as I'm aware, you guys are in the circle.
Yeah. The 10 circle? Or the 5 circle?
The 10 circle. The green 10 circle.
where the green pin is?
Yeah. We basically came in from that southeastern frickin' tunnel, and now we're heading... So we can bypass that whole path up, basically.
Can I jump
This is the path up. The thing to the far north is not actually a path up. It's just a weird thing with the shading.
Damn you, shading.
Can I throw my token on there?
Do we want to? I don't think we want to trigger the fence. If it can be triggered.
Yeah, I'll get mad at us.
We're triggering our spores.
Do I detect any magic or anything around this fence? Look for traps.
Nothing magical.
Prescott.
But it's definitely very weird.
Okay, stay away from the fence. Got it.
And you notice that the fence isn't quite like a full fence. There, you could totally just climb through it. It's a very almost fence entrance.
Roll for weird.
I'll jump it.
And as you get closer, you hear the muttering sounds grow a whole lot louder. It's still kind of wordless, but you hear it turning into a symphony of moans, cries, and hisses.
Great, we're interrupting someone's orgy.
Probably not entirely wrong.
The only light besides what you're providing comes from a few glowing mushrooms along the edge of this zirkwood, but even in this fairly dim lighting, you can't miss the source of the sounds that you're hearing.
Did you call it jerkwood?
Yes, jerkwood. Get it right.
Zirkwood?
Okay. Zuxies.
You see the heads of creatures of a dozen humanoid Underdark races peek from the ground, mold and fungi growing around them.
Do they look like drow or?
It's
Or
basically
just
a whole group of them.
Yeah.
Whole group of races.
So they took off a bunch of heads, turned it into a pile
Or
of singing heads.
buried up to the neck.
Do they look alive or like undead?
They're covered in moss and shrooms.
You can't tell from where you're at.
Prescott starts to make sketches and drawings of what they're seeing.
I'll work my way through that fence.
It's not too difficult. You get through without any issue. You notice that the zirkwood slats of this fence, most of them are just kind of rotted away.
Okay then.
Sorry about that. Phone was
Apparently,
ringing.
apparently there's a dance party going on in there.
You hear. You all
Jesus
hear.
Christ, all of you did it.
We all hear what?
Well, I guess just the three of you. The Panther, Thulwar,
Thulwar.
and Prescott.
Prescott.
How
Uh,
far away is the Panther from Taché?
And if they start humming and making noises that vaguely resemble the X-Files theme song, Prescott nopes the fuck out.
No, they're going.
I-
"Ba-da-bee-da-bee,
You would hear maybe at the closest 30 feet, but you wouldn't. You'd see the light, but you wouldn't see him.
Okay.
I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die.
Yes.
Life goes on.
The three of you hear a voice call out loudly.
Oh, Jesus.
Get your ass back in here, boy!
But you don't understand. Well, okay, Prescott.
Finally.
Nope, not
I'm
Prescott.
useful.
And Thulwar.
Oh. Fuck you, Thulwar. This one's mine.
You hear one of these things call out. A closer look reveals that it's a female drow, and she's speaking in Undercommon. She says, "Please, for your gods of light, kill me."
When I hear
We'll
that,
do that on the way back.
I turn around and I run back to the party.
Yeah,
should've
it's time
lit
to
the
get back to the
button.
party.
Shift back into Ashok and say, "There's people
Some
buried up
creepy
there
ass shit.
begging for us to kill them. They're buried up to their necks in the
I think it
ground."
was
As
just
a-
their heads.
As a
There's
point of
summoning.
interest, Ashok, you wouldn't have understood it. You just heard the voice call out.
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
told him.
So
As
I'm
I
back.
was sketching, I would have said something.
Time to. So, do we begin preparation for?
Operation Burn and Run.
Have fun storming the castle.
Okay,
So what do we wanna-
they're summoning another demon.
Yeah,
Or
and what do
feeding
What's
it.
going on?
we want to?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Sorry.
That was me
And-
just using up my other shot.
And what do we? How do we want to?
Please stop choking on Demogorgon. You're saying.
How do we want to do this? Because I show the party the
I actually can't breathe.
Oh, work on that. Come on.
Saren?
I think,
You
okay.
all right?
I think so. Basically, what happened was more than just the usual expulsion.
Oof.
Oh, I hate it when your chest like hurt. Yeah.
No, my chest seized up.
Hmm.
Extreme belching?
Apparently.
Well, it all uses the diaphragm.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine stopped working for a moment.
Y-
God damn it.
Yeah, sometimes if you put your hand over your head, sometimes that can help with that.
I'm good. Sorry about that.
She have it.
Just more stuff for Jade's Emilio.
Cough.
Exactly. Will you stop licking his ass?
All
Well, I'm talking to my cats.
right, he's fine. Anyways,
He's back to normal.
He's back, everybody.
so Prescott shows the rest of the party the sketch, tells them what they're saying. We can either show them the evidence and get them the hell out, or we can attack now. Do we want to let them escape? And then we try to call Philo. Philo's
want-
bluff
do we
tomorrow.
really, do we really want to? Well, let's say for a moment, do we want to tip our hand early, or go in there with all dicks blazing?
I
Well, problem is-
mean, I have an entire bedroll full of shrooms ready to burn.
And if I part of me wants to let everyone else escape, and also call Philo on his bullshit. But if we dilly dally, they may die.
I think they're already beyond saving.
Yeah, they were in the ground. All I could see was their head.
Fair. Then let's get the rest of the Myconans out. We have proof. Let's just get them out, and
Is
then we'll
that
go from
proof?
there.
This was like that
That's-
sacrifice back in front of that lake.
Are these people being watched at all?
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice anything else, but
Is it possible for us to free some of them?
Well, like I
yeah.
said, I'm pretty sure they were literally heads.
well, they had
Just
the
heads.
they had the growths and moss and fungus on them.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I show to Shay the sketch closer. You decide. Do you want to go back?
But are they just heads? We could always bag one of them.
No, I
We couldn't find
told
out.
her like they're probably buried up to their necks, but they are infested with fungus.
I should have grabbed some while I was there.
No, you probably shouldn't touch it. I'm wondering if we should put them out of their misery. But that
hello. Are you done licking his ass? Now you're licking my nose. Thank you very, very much.
Well, those guys said they were calling out to be killed.
Yes, they were.
I think we should go back to Basidia. But she's gonna look back there because she does not like leaving those people suffering.
Neither does Prescott.
We can go back and help them, but I think we gotta let Basidia know. He's got to start getting people out of here.
Yeah. How far away were those people from Prescott? From Ashok?
According to the map, they were like 10 feet, 15 feet.
They were 15 feet away from you?
Yeah,
I can
if they were right here.
look, if we want to run back, I can cast silence on them so they'll stop chanting, but that may just reveal where we are.
That would, yeah, probably.
And also, what does it solve?
They've been here how long? If
Get
we
them
can
to
do this in the
stop.
next day.
So maybe we could come back with a whole army.
Basidia.
I don't
Alright.
think that would help.
No, we need to tell Basidia to start getting. This is not a safe place for them.
Well, all they're gonna be is like, so we recycle corpses. What we do.
We're about to
Resurrect
commit.
things to help make shrooms for us. There's nothing unusual there.
We're about to commit Fallout 76 on this area. You better get out of here.
I grab Sareth by the shoulder and I kind of push him forward a little bit. I say, "What is that up there? Do you know anything about what's going on there?"
I'm as clueless as you are. Their garden's not what I'm interested. It's what's behind it.
Why? What do you think's behind it?
I think I know.
You know, I never really thought about that.
What?
But I still want to go there.
Wait a minute.
I look at
Wait a
Prescott and I said, "I think you were right to tie him up."
Is Sareth affected by the spores? Does he have growths and stuff on him? He had some red spots on his face. Do they look like the heads?
Now suddenly, Prescott's not so insane.
We
I mean,
haven't gone that far yet.
Looking
Sareth-
at him now, there are no spots anywhere on his face.
Sareth, how do you have any idea what's down there?
I don't.
Well, then how do you know it's something that you want to go see? Is it a feeling you're having right now?
I mean, aren't you curious?
Not
That's not
particularly.
that's not exactly the word I'd be using right now.
I'm not curious, but we need to figure out what's happening here.
I'm pretty sure they're summoning Zugtamoy. Unless there's some other
I
demon
grab Sarah
lord
and I just drag him
north.
back up to where the fence is.
What if they're summoning Seraph?
Dun dun dun.
Well, I'll find out when I get to the fence. I'm not even shifting this time. I'm just dragging his ass.
Touch base.
Prescott looks at
Bullshit.
no, Eldon. We have Eldon with us.
Aldous.
Eldith?
Eldith.
Eldeth?
Go tell Basidia, get everyone out now.
She just kind of nods and heads off.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, we're still like look
Oh,
sh-
I real fast. I stop her. I rip out the page of my book, shuddering a little bit, and hand it to her. Show him this.
I mean, this is the place we would need to go to do that is like still quite a ways to our northeast, and we're probably not going that far.
Well, I dragged Sarah up to the fence. So what do you feel now?
Drag.
I ready Eldritch Blast.
That's Prescott's answer to everything, isn't it? I read Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still feel a pull beyond the garden.
I push him
Should we go
through.
past the garden? Should we go? So what we're looking at right
Not
now
exactly,
is
not,
the
not exactly,
garden.
not exactly being nice with him, are you?
Is this where the Day of Joy is going to happen, or are we close to it?
I was under the impression that this right here, purple circle, that's where the Day of Joy was gonna be.
Okay,
No,
so do we want to sneak into there? Can we get
Well, that's
past
where the
those
heads are.
dudes? Okay.
Sarah, you've got to do a better job explaining. Is this in your heart that you're feeling this? I have no feeling of a pull in that direction.
except the dick tug.
Actually, if anything, I have a pull. I have a feeling of a pull in the opposite direction.
I mean, how do you explain a pull to anywhere?
It's got a point.
Go ahead. And I kind of push him through the fence.
He kind of glances back at you and starts slowly walking forward. Not towards the circle, but off to the right.
Prescott, watch this.
Hmm?
Don't grab his pants.
Do I need to take notes?
Do you want to
Let's
see
see
ass?
Let's see what happens to him.
I also now wonder if I told her to go tell Basidia. Now I wonder if he's gonna show up.
I want to see
You-
Sareth get swallowed.
You watch as Sereth just continues heading up to past the circle.
By the way, when he gets to where he's going and meets who he wants to meet, he's gonna tell them that we're here. So letting him run away was a really good idea.
He'll just be another dinner.
someone who's
Whatever is up
To be
there
fair,
is
though,
the
he was
thing
someone-
that he
well-
has a what the fuck pact with, in which case that's probably not going to happen, and instead we're going to have something a bit more of a trouble on our hands.
I'm not stopping him.
Am I able to smell Warlock? Like,
Smell Warlock.
I mean, you're
You smell
already
like-
aware he's a warlock.
no, I know, but like, what is calling him is his pact.
Okay, hold on a second here. Let me. How far away is he now?
Uh,
I can always Eldritch Blast him in the back.
Oh, my snare. I was gonna snare him, but I have to. That won't work. No, he's
about
he's-
30
He is
feet.
long gone now.
leaving, guys. We're done with Sarah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure we'll find him later when he's, the leader of the mushroom hordes, and he's sending
When
them
he's
to
level
invade the surface
55.
world. Yeah, exactly.
I look
No,
back-
we don't need to tie him down.
We
No,
look
you're
back
the
to this
insane
day,
one.
and I was like, so
guys-
letting him go.
You guys have about 10 seconds to tell me to go get him or not.
Crap. Bring him back.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This seems like a bad idea.
Tackle his ass.
And I look at Prescott. You want? I'm gonna go through this fence.
Fuck it.
Prescott takes some of those mushroom bombs. Goes under and throws them at the beds and runs after Seraph.
Really?
Oh God.
I mean,
As soon as you do that, I start running with you.
Oh Jesus Christ.
they don't set on fire until you set them on fire.
That's fine, we'll do that later.
I'm throwing them into the field.
So they're out in the field.
What the fuck are we doing?
That's a good question. We didn't even, honestly,
We've
again,
gone-
we
we've-
didn't
we've gone
even
from- we've gone-
investigate anything.
We've gone from
We've
stealth
literally
to
investigated
balls to-
nothing.
Yeah,
we walked up to a fence, probably a kilometer away from the actual location we were meant to go explore, and then said, "Oh, this is good enough. We're fine." There's talking heads on the ground. That's good enough for me. Let's go, boys. We literally did nothing.
Hey, Seraph, wait up.
Again, I'm pretty sure we're wasting a lot of time sending someone all the way back to talk to them. And like, hey, we found some heads in the ground that are talking. You should probably leave. It's
Now
like
they're
that's
gnawing into
unusual.
their
Again, it's like that's unusual. How?
I should
We're,
thunderweave.
it's like we're spore people. We spore things that come back to life and do things for us.
We're all on.
How
the
is
net.
this unusual?
I'll thunderwave the garden.
Oh God.
We've gone from stealth
With
to
the bombs in there.
Again, we
That
are
don't
dumb
set
Jesus
off
Christ.
until fire.
Okay, well since you
So
guys
we're burning a random mushroom field a kilometer away from the place that we actually want to burn to the ground.
I'm
We have
trying to
more of
catch
these
up to
things.
Sarah.
Same. And we have
yeah.
more of these things.
You very specifically still hear that one drow calling out for you to kill her.
We'll kill you later.
Prescott, is that the one who's
Um,
screaming to kill her?
And you
Mhm.
hear her say
Grab
that
Sarah.
something like the Great Cedar Trap. She's here.
I don't understand
Great
that.
feeder trap.
no
Ashok
cedar. The great
doesn't.
basic.
I scream, the cedar is here!
Ashok
Okay,
doesn't
I-
understand this.
I
But no, so
tackle Sarah.
I scream, the cedar is here! The cedar is here!
Great. It was nice knowing you guys, actually. It's
Do I
been
have to do
fun.
anything to tackle him? Any?
How far away are those mushrooms from Sachet?
Well, since
Uh,
you're there on the map, right here,
More than 30 feet, but you can't see them.
Oh, okay.
you'd have to get up to here.
We weren't
You'd have to
supposed
get
to
to
use
the
the
other side of
mushrooms here.
the fence.
Wait, really? I actually didn't know where we were going to be using the mushrooms. I wasn't paying
That's because
attention
you
to that
weren't
bit.
listening. This does not surprise me.
To be fair, most everyone
This
was
does not
talking over me,
surprise me.
a lot, so I just tuned out a lot of things.
No shit. I noticed. Ah, we're here to explore a garden. Not the fence of the garden, not the entrance to the garden. That's still a kilometer away from the garden. The garden.
This is the garden.
This
No,
is
it's
not the
not.
garden.
It's not the garden.
This is a fence at the top of a cliff that's still a mile away from the garden.
Well,
I thought
okay.
Purple
Not maybe
Circle
not
was the
Maui,
garden.
but definitely
And
not.
we haven't done anything. Like the bombs are not lit; they're just in
Yeah.
the field.
We've
And
had
we can come back and light them. Can we just sneak past these people and get to the garden?
we've had one person release a very interesting person that apparently wants to go commune with a demon. We've
Well,
had
we're
another person
tackling him
throw
now.
his mushrooms randomly into an area that means nothing.
I will agree. I
I'm
did
just
letting him go was a bad idea.
I'm just tired.
Nobody stopped me.
Oh, you see just frickin' tongue in the
I-
background, just like, oh, kill.
You hear the sounds from where the heads are kind of change tone from just general
great.
pain to fear.
Oh, great. Okay, I start dragging Sareth back. If I can, do I have to like beat him with strength or anything?
Same. I'm using my trunk to pull him.
Again.
Considering it's both of you against Sereth, even though he is very interested,
It's my trunk too.
you guys are definitely able to overpower him.
Whoa, hey, it's actually, you know what, second thought, the screaming skulls and such is probably not a good idea.
And we're not dragging him any slowly or politely. We're just
At this point,
a demon appears.
you see something. You see something pull up out of the garden.
Straight ahead, that big old. I'm assuming the garden is that gigantic freaking mushroom up ahead.
No, the garden is where the heads are.
Who? The thing that I just said was the garden. You're like, no, it's not the garden. Hey, look, it's the garden.
We passed by a fence. The heads were by the fence, which is 10.
You see
10
this like larval creature rise up before you. It has vestigial fungal growths that hint that it might have once been a myconid.
Blow it up.
I don't have an image for this.
Blow it up. I don't give a shit. Blow it up.
I'll cast Flame Blade.
And you hear, "Welcome, travelers."
Literally, Prescott's out loud sitting there screaming, blow it up! Blow it up!
The aberrant myconid voice gurgles and spits as it speaks both aloud and in your minds at once. Are you here for the
Prescott
wedding
sees
rehearsal?
Prescott sees a
who's
flame
getting
blade show
married?
up in my hand.
Friends of the bride? Friends of the bride or her intended? No matter, let the love of the great cedar embrace you as you become one with the chosen, the great body.
Again, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up.
Oops, that didn't do what I was supposed to.
So instead of we want to be murder hobos too much.
Says the king murder hobo. You wanted to go to the garden. We found the garden, and And these are creatures
it-
being held against their will for a fucking
This is-
wedding.
This is a garden. This isn't the garden.
And
This
you
is
watch.
the concierge. This is the fucking concierge in front of the fucking motel that we want
This
to
this is the altar boy.
Exactly.
So hold on. Can you say one more time what that voice was? Something about who's getting married.
Yeah, someone's getting married. Apparently, we're
Yeah,
both-
it
we're
didn't-
both
We
in
found the
agreement.
altar boy.
It didn't specify who was
It
getting
said
married,
cedar.
but said that let the love of the great cedar embrace you as you become one with her chosen, the great body.
Where's Eldith?
You guys sent Eldith off.
Eldest, come back.
You hear the garden start screaming.
Look at
And you
Prescott.
watch as 2 drow spore servants are risen,
Oh shit.
and 2 myconid adults from the Circle of Masters emerge from the surrounding growth.
Basidia, help!
Let's keep moving towards.
Yeah, run.
She locked the map. Brother.
See, this is why I wanted to stealth into the area and throw a bunch of shrooms down to that pit with the whatever the fuck it is, and then light them on fire and run away very, very quickly. But apparently that got skewed somewhere along the lines of Murder Hobo.
I'm just gonna go ahead and blame you on this one. You didn't.
I said it clearly. No one was
You-
listening.
You
I
didn't
mean,
specify the plan clear enough.
fucking hell. Apparently, next time I apparently have to draw a diagram for you with a lot of pretty colors.
Pictures
I
would help.
point
Yes.
my blade at the garden, and I say to Prescott, should we go get him, or should we just keep trying to get back?
I think we're currently fucked.
I need you to roll initiative.
Yes. I technically was holding Eldritch Blast.
Roll initiative first, and then we'll take care of it.
Did my flame blade cast count? Do I have that?
You would have Flame Blade up, yes.
I mean, I would have liked to have talked to it first, got more information, but oh well, too late. Let's go kill everything.
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Did you say that in character? I'll be like, I think it's too late to talk.
I don't
Yes,
think
I
it-
realized that.
I don't think it would have wanted to talk to begin with.
I mean, again, the wedding of so and so. So
Don't think it was
my
wanting to talk to
immediate-
begin with.
my
Look.
immediate-
I think wedding is a farce. It's just what they're calling it.
No.
This is
They
more like a
said-
funeral.
They said that they were prepping for a wedding,
And they said a
and
bride
that they
and groom.
wanted us to join their chosen, which is the big mound of bodies that they are apparently coming from.
Is the Demogorgon marrying their demon, or like the Cedars marrying something?
Who really wants to see this person right now? What is their gender?
I think that's the least of our worries right now.
I mean, you've
Am I
heard that
being
the
too
cedar
subtle?
is a she.
Am I being too subtle? I don't think I'm being too subtle.
There's going to be a lot of dicking going on very shortly.
Why does Sereth really, really want to meet this person? Why is there suddenly
Saren.
talk of a wedding?
Sharon, don't forget to roll
Sereth,
initiative.
initiative.
Sorry, I've been phasing a little bit there, plus all the extra shit going on.
Yeah.
And yes, I've been specifying that Sereth has been wanting to come here for a reason. He's been under the control this whole time.
And we just found out the reason.
And my rolls have been sucking still.
I got an 8-2, so whatever.
It's funny how suddenly now Prescott is not the insane one.
That's why I'm not going that far.
Well, since he scattered all of his freaking mushrooms beforehand into that garden
Not
to the left,
all.
if somebody wants to, well, you said all, but
No, I
here-
didn't.
I heard all. But anyway, regardless, if anybody wants to
Prescott,
light
roll.
that whole area on fire,
Coming up.
Roll for your Eldritch Blast first.
and what are you blasting?
Mm.
Oh God. Yes, abroad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, abroad.
No
Oh,
to
I
Brad.
didn't target
Did you
it.
target yes to broad?
I did not.
Well, that's unfortunate.
21.
21 does hit.
I would hope it hits.
That-
If that doesn't hit, then oof.
The wrong. That was the wrong one. Whoops. I meant to do that. Oh. Yay.
Well, take off the whatever it was then, I guess. 8. You got 2 more damage.
No.
I didn't roll damage. I accidentally rolled attack again.
Oh, well then.
Okay. Whew. Huh.
I see.
So now it's my regular turn. Okay.
Yes.
3.
If everyone wasn't so close to me, Arms of Hadar seems interesting right now, but I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna do darkness. Oh, that's interesting too. I could cast darkness on me, and it would move with me.
But would it be
Interesting.
useful?
No. It's a 15-foot radius sphere. I'm gonna cast it on Yestabrod.
So
It can't see anything.
15 radius.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do these things live in darkness fairly?
Nope, a
they-
creature with dark vision can't see through this darkness.
Huh.
Only if you have magical sight can you see through it.
Well, we also have drow that use something very similar all the time.
All right, so Prescott
What do you?
is gonna move to over here. And I don't think this is a free action, but I'm gonna call that thing fucking ugly and scream for it to come towards me.
Go
At
murder
yes to broad?
hobos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna end my turn. I hope people are catching on to what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, fuck.
That'll bring us to Ashok.
So I'm gonna move up to this my kind of adult here.
Also, be careful. Don't get caught in the darkness.
There's
No, I'm
just
around the edge.
barely enough for you not to be in the darkness there.
Okay, I am going to attack him with my flame blade. And before you do it, I'm gonna use a lucky. I feel lucky today.
You feel
Alright.
unlucky, punk?
Punk. You
To
feeling lucky?
re-roll that.
Okay, that.
I checked off one
Okay.
lucky.
Much better.
There you go.
And then let's see. Does he
Now
have to
roll
save
maximum
on it?
damage.
Like I did.
Alright,
Except
he
do it-
doesn't.
That should be weapon plus
Yeah,
the
that's-
flame blade, I think.
Not bad.
And then as my bonus action, I'm going to. All of a sudden, you see me. No, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'll. Man, there's. Yeah, I'm gonna cast my Blessing of the Raven Queen and move.
Oh, right, that's the one that you just summoned a blade. Okay.
Yeah. And then teleport over there.
For the blessing of the Raven Queen.
Yep. So all of a sudden I go like silvery. And it just I disappear and I show up on the other side of Sarah. Where did Prescott? Oh, he's way over.
I'm
Oops,
trying to lure
that's not
the.
what I meant to do.
I'm trying to lure the broad into the fire. Or what would be the fire?
That's okay. Don't worry about me.
That.
But the only problem now is that Ashok is within the range of the fire.
Won't be for long.
I mean, it's her turn next.
So we have.
Actually, my teleport's gonna go. Where am I? Teleport
Excuse me.
over there.
Okay.
Mm.
I meant to just delete your circle and then I deleted everything.
Yay!
Oh,
Mhm.
and that will end my turn.
Don't worry, my
Um,
fire good is still there.
Where are
side
the
effect.
mushrooms?
Of that, you are resistant to all damage until the start of your next turn.
Yep. Let's see. Put me.
And what did you say, Roasted?
Where are the mushrooms that were thrown?
That Prescott threw into the garden, apparently.
How many were thrown?
Prescott.
Who? I think. Yeah, whoever threw them.
It's Prescott.
Oh, I was
Wake
talking.
the fuck up, Brad.
No, I was talking and just didn't realize.
God damn it.
How big's the radius?
Where are your mushrooms, Brad? Oh god, that came out
You
all
hiding your
wrong.
shrooms, Brad. I'm sorry, Brad. It's time we had an intervention. Were you hiding your shrooms?
I threw a bunch
Yeah.
of them into the field.
Over there?
She drew. Where she had the purple circle a minute ago.
Where someone had the
Where
purple
the two
circle.
drow are at, essentially.
Yeah, that was mine.
So
Oh,
how many
yeah.
did you throw in there?
Enough to kind of cover the area.
Okay.
Given a few feet, like a few feet of explosion.
So
Okay.
what? 5?
So Tashe is going to put her hands together and kind of roll them up, and a small sphere of fire is going to appear between them. And she is going and it's going to kind of disappear and reappear right here. Oh, wait. There. It's only 5 feet, not 10. Oh, wait. It says 5. Oh, okay. You're right. Okay.
5 for
Right.
radius. Well, you put it in
So-
between them.
5-foot diameter.
Yes.
Also, I guess close enough to cause cause an explosion in the whole area. So even if you just set,
Well,
It first of all, anyone in the sphere.
depends on how she wants to handle it.
Yeah, if the mushrooms are anywhere in there, then I'll just put the sphere here since that'll be part of where the mushrooms are. So at least one person will be in it. And he
They'll be
has
they'll
to,
be they'll be ideally close enough to explode in chain react.
yep, a 5-foot diameter sphere within range, 5 feet. Any creature, or here, you know what? Let's put it here. No. I tried to move it. I can't move it. Can you move it so that it is right in here? Doop.
I can't do my magic. You do my magic.
Thank you. Hold on, let me read the spell again. Sorry. Any creature ends its turn within the sphere. Okay, so it needs to be within the sphere. So
Within 5 feet of the sphere.
okay, well then there you go. That's the perfect spot.
Keep in mind that
So
ends its turn within 5
Mhm.
feet of the sphere.
okay, so if they end its turn, then they take damage.
If those two don't move, they'll take damage.
Right. But the most important thing is that it lights shit on fire that's in the
Yeah.
area.
And the Yestabroad runs towards it.
The question again is, how does she want to handle that for radiant damage? If the whole area, because that bursts into a field of flame, is it just a solid bit of damage immediately and then a bit over time? Or, yeah.
That's up to her. Do I need to roll anything for that?
So you watch as 3 of those mushrooms that were thrown just light on fire. But the 4th one actually explodes.
Boom. All right, and that will end my turn.
And both of those spore servants do take a small amount of fire damage. And they are not, what is it, vulnerable to fire.
Happy about that.
Okay, that brings us to Turvy, who is way back here. And just barely manages to pull herself, I think it is, himself, I don't know anymore, through the fence. And they're going to shoot at one of the drow spore servants.
Nail it to the ground. Go for the legs.
That definitely hit. Okay. Topsy is further back. and is just going to use all of the movement possible and just run right up in there.
Damn it, Topsy. As he gets one shot again. Topsy, no! On to Spore Drow.
This Spore Servant is going to realize that fire bad
Fire bat.
No shit.
and step just out of the range.
Oh, it's a thunder wave. We're
Attack of
back in
opportunity.
there.
Only if they leave melee range.
Aww.
And attack Topsy, because that's the closest person with a short sword. Tongdil.
Tongdil smash. Obviously, I'm going to move one more step forward just to get within range.
Right, everybody's right in the middle of a thunder wave. Oh.
Clicking, more clicking. Now, did that work?
Okay, for that, okay,
Mm.
that just applied it. And you hit.
Except it didn't give advantage. But weird.
That was just rage. That's not your reckless attack. Reckless attack gives you advantage, but disadvantage against everything else.
I was thinking of something else, yeah.
Rage makes you resistant to most
Ooh.
damage, and you just smashed it.
Yep. Just splat. Ah, dirty Spore Elf. I don't really have any kind of bonus actions I can really do that I know of, so.
You did your bonus action. You raged.
Oh, is it activate rage? Oh, okay. That works. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Tongdil. Next.
And Hemoth just kind of runs from where he was, takes his action to move further. Seems a little bit disgusted by the fact that he's walking through really thick fungus and it's very squishy.
My
But
body
that
parts.
took everything for him to get there.
Isn't that whole area on fire?
There's a couple of small spots that are on fire. Those torch stalks have a chance of exploding. There is no guarantee that they explode. Usually they just set on fire for a day. So you have 3 torches and 1 that exploded so far.
I should have crushed them into a fine powder. Anyway,
And then snorted it.
something tells me I would rather my head not explode.
I was gonna say we could have eaten it and we would have lit you on fire.
At this point, I'd almost welcome it.
Thulwar, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm just basically debating because with everybody clustered like that, my original plan would not work because it'd likely get other people killed. So I do
Yeah,
try to
don't be
avoid
Brad.
that when I do try to avoid that when possible.
From where you're at, you actually can't see the field as it is. You would have to move up. But yeah, it does still change.
Yeah. Well, he's going to go to here. That's within normal movement.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
All right. So at this point now, he can see what's going on.
You're kind of in the cover of the fungal fence, but it is a living fence. It's very tight right there, but you could continue squeezing through in the future. You can mostly see through it. You would see well enough to like cast spells without a problem, but it's likely that your target will have at least half cover.
Yes, so basically shooting through it would be difficult at best.
For at least this round.
Yes. Well, I will cast something through there. My one of my turrets.
Which is fine.
Is anybody actually in combat, or besides trying to set fire to what's going on over there?
Nobody is right up next to anything.
I just wanted to make sure. Like I said, been phasing a little bit. My apologies.
It's getting late.
Yeah. No. Dip. God damn it. I'm gonna cast actually my force ballista turret. I was gonna basically have it on that square.
Okay.
And basically spend probably the rest of my action trying to get to the damn fence. I thought I could pull the icon off of off the sheet here for the ballista turret, but it's just I guess I can't just drag over and drop it. Yeah, I can't. So yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. And I think it was basically with me trying to get to the fence. That's probably going to take up my rest of my turn, right?
Yes.
More or less. Okay. So in that case, I'm done. And the blizzard's being summoned, so that's its thing. So.
Okay. And then Vargas. Is going to run in, be very confused as to everything that's happening, but doesn't want you guys to die because you guys promised to help him find the tomb.
Simplistic motivation.
Shoots and misses. Seraph. At this moment, takes his bonus action to summon his weapon, which is, it's like a solid black heavy crossbow. And he is going to shoot at this myconid adult.
I have to say, I was half expecting him to turn around and pop Prescott.
Or run. Keep going.
Well, there's at least one enemy in the way. And he is going to...
Ah, yes, the groom is here. You may continue.
Okay. That has... Well... Okay. It uses its entire turn to just get closer.
Shuffle, 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 shuffle.
The other one... is going to walk forward and try to punch Sereth. And misses. I rolled a total of 5. And then the Spore Servant... is going to also realize that fire hurts and move out of the range and attempt to attack Hemith with its short sword. Yes, Debrod. Actually has a surprising speed.
Because that's what I want to hear.
2 bounds and he's on top of him.
Yeah, but he can't see what he's doing either way.
The darkness does not move with him.
Yes, it does.
If it's cast on an object, not a creature, yes it does.
it could have been anything it was wearing, but it just says cast it on something.
Cast it on an object. You can move the object with you or cover the object. That's the way it's worded. If the point you choose is on an object you are holding or one that isn't being worn or carried.
So you can't light its tie on fire. Damn.
What the hell was that?
What?
Thought I saw something.
It's creeping along right now.
Scare me.
And that ends the first round of combat. Do we want to go ahead and pause this until next time?
It's about that time of night.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is.
it's only 11.
It's 1
To be fair,
a.m.
this is usually when Tungdale
I
crawls
know, I'm
into
kidding.
the backpack and goes to sleep by now, or at least half an hour
Yeah,
before.
pretty much. I was just thinking I got about, what, 4 hours worth of sleep maybe?
Yeah,
Five at
I
most.
gotta get some sleep.
That was a great session.
Yeah, we made some progress today. I'm excited.
You met some creepy stuff.
Yeah.
But now I know what's
Well, we
happening.
used
There's some
shrooms in
kind
the
of
wrong location.
wedding.
And we brought the groom. We're so good.
Who's the groom? Is Seraph the groom?
I'm
We don't
pretty
know.
sure he is.
No. Seriously?
I
Nah.
mean, he really, really wants to go back there, and apparently there's a wedding going to be happening that they're preparing for. So, yeah. I mean, the rest of us were just to, join the mound, but yeah,
Hmm.
pretty sure that's the plot twist there.
Maybe so. All right. Well, I'm gonna hit the pits. I will see you guys.
All right, have a good
Same
one.
bad place, same bad time.
Guys, see you next week.
Yep. I just had to laugh.
Now to spin.